saying, I've got it under control. Life ain't nothing but a fat loophole. If you don't cross your wires, then you're good as gold. What's your name, honey? Let's go back home. Gina, the sad piece, was having reservations. Thought she finally met a man to meet her low expectations. She caught him giving neck at the Texaco with a pistol at his temple. He still let her know that I've got it under control. Life ain't nothing but a fat loophole. If you don't cross your wires, then you're good as gold. I love you now, honey, let's go back home. Gina rounded up all his current and past lovers, hog tied in the double wide. She closed the shutters. They put a couple hot rounds through his pride and joy. Said, who you gonna fool now? Pucker lip Leroy. I've got you under control. I may have lost my mind, but you lost your soul. If you cross us again, you'll get 100 more holes. You know about his honey, now waddle back home. Mama for some cheating lying girl. Said she loved me, said she'd be true. Sometimes I don't know what to Mountain Dew. I got tears in my eyes, tears on my jeans. I got tears on the stove to season my beans. I got nothing but sorrow on my mind. I could use a tall glass of red 40 tonight, 'cause I'm a cold red man in a Baja Blast world. I left the arms of my mama for some cheating lying girl. Said she loved me, said she'd be true. Sometimes I don't know what to Mountain Dew. I'm like a square in a circular hole. Feel like I'm cutting steak in a bowl. Like a brain surgeon on his 7th beer. I don't belong here. He works on the flat top and he cooks the meat. And just like you wanted, he drinks Baja Beat. But I'ma find me another with better taste and do. And this cold red man will forget about you. 'Cause I'm a cold red man in a Baja Blast world. I left the arms of my mama for some cheating lying girl. Said she loved me, said she'd be true. Sometimes I don't know what to Mountain Dew. Bert was sure he was an innocent man, except for the PVC pipe bomb in his hand. He was honest and true, never one to boast, and a sucker for some good nitrocellulose. He blew it up way out by the treatment plant, making craters in the earth for the thrill of it, man. Bigger and bigger, he made him fat and loud, getting giddy little giggles from a one-man crowd. Well, the law never saw, but somebody heard. An organization with some sensitive turf. Yeah, they didn't mind Bert, they just needed a hand. Saw his 20-foot craters and said, we're big fans. Well, Bert tried to say, I only do it for myself, but a couple $100,000, man, sure would help. He made a deal with the devil on PCP that meant he'd never have to buy his own PVC. Well, Bert never knew where his babies went. Sometimes he heard them go off out riding in his new Benz. 9 to 5 he toiled away, soldering and soldering every weekday. Well, at least he wasn't selling something evil like dope. Sure, the boss gave him all that he could hope for, but gone were the days of seeing them blow. Traded his one true love for a big stack of dough. So Bert got his wires, pipes, and compounds, stuck them all together, and he headed downtown. Found a big stash house with his boss in the lot, and before he went and chucked it, he had one last thought. Bert was sure he was an innocent man, except for the PVC pipe bomb in his hand. He was honest and true, never one to boast, and a sucker for some good nitrocellulose. Calling, give me a minute, I'm on the line. Hold on, Bear's calling, it's telling me that you should join us tonight. Me and Bo, we're hitting the town, cold cores at Lonnie's Piss Lounge. It's our favorite watering hole. They play Creed and other real rock and roll. Yeah. Hold on, Bear's calling, give me a minute, I'm on the line. Hold on, Bear's calling, it's telling me that you should join us tonight. Well, this Tuesday's getting old, I'd like to sing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So come on, I can't be the only one singing. Speak the devil, look who's a-ringing. Hold on, Bear's calling, give me a minute, I'm on the line. Hold on, Bear's calling, it's telling me that you should join us tonight. I'll play darts and I'll hit the wall, I'll play pool and I'll scratch the ball. Bo will do his impression of the drums from In the Air Tonight. So hold on, Bear's calling, give me a minute, I'm on the line. Hold on, Bear's calling, it's telling me that you should join us tonight. It's telling me that you should join us tonight. Yeah. Flora and fauna in North Tijuana cannot compare to you.
Hello.
Driving on the frontera with a great big old pair of...
Ricky Chilton, as usual. How's everybody doing? What's going on? We are doing okay. I am sorry that you fell down the fucking stairs. That's some shit, man. That sucks. Hello, Omadon. Been a while, man. How you doing? Also, thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's Sunday. That's how it goes sometimes. Hi, Wildfell. How you doing? It's good to see you. Let me give you the shout out as well. Welcome, Scorpion. Oh, good. I'm glad you like that. Been painting Warhammer minis. Fuck yeah, man.
That again.
I'm telling Ryan. I keep telling Ryan he needs to start like his own fucking channel for Warhammer info and shit, and he pussies out on me every time, dude. God, a blizzard? Ah. 2 feet of snow. Holy shit. I'm not used to that level of fucking, that's a lot. Holy shit. Like, alright, but holy shit. I'm glad you are okay. So, I'm gonna level, cause, fuck. At first I was like, oh, like, I could try to figure out, you know, Pocopia, whatever, like, it'll be good, it's fine. But I just tried to connect it to like my main computer just to see if it would work, and I think I'm dumb, and by that I mean I'm not educated enough, I guess, for the connection. So I'm trying to figure out what it is exactly I need to do for the dual PC setup, or apparently even a single PC setup, because my computer's not registering.
To be fair, we've had tech ghost issues for the last 2 days, not even on stream.
The what?
Tech ghost issues.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't, yeah, external non-tech ghost related shit. So I tried, I didn't really have enough time to really fuck with it right before this stream. I tried to for a few minutes, but it just was not, the timing was not there, which is fine. So maybe next week, I don't know, I could, I guess, chat and fuck with it some more, but at this point, I'm not really sure. I don't know. You would think it'd be so simple now as to plug it in and turn it on. But you have to, like, outsource it to the fucking card, to run it back through the other computer, to run it back into the other capture card, to run it into the monitor.
So that's what I was about to ask. Is it worse because you have a 2-computer setup?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
If
I
I mean,
feel like with a 1-computer setup, it would be that simple.
I mean, to some degree, because it would just run through OBS. The problem I'm having, though, is, like, I tried to connect it here just to see if it would show up on this OBS on my regular computer. So, and it wouldn't show up on Bertha either. So, my only other option is to connect it to Mima, but then it's only going to show up on this I don't know, bro.
I mean, is it a big deal if it only shows up on that monitor?
I just want something to work the first time you try something and never give you problems. It's never going to fucking happen.
No, we're cursed.
It's never going to fucking happen, dog.
Completely cursed.
I feel like I need to do what that one person said and, like, expel, like, a cheap-ass, shitty fucking PC and connect it and just beat the shit out of it out back. And just have a fucking Texorcism.
I've saged her computer before.
Mm.
Like, taken incense and cleansed the whole thing.
It's not a lie. He did.
For those of you
there was a really bad day and he came in.
It wasn't even just that. For those of you that were here for the weird recording lag thing that was going on for like 2 straight months last year.
Oh yeah, that was...
At one point I got mad and just saged the computer. I'm pretty sure that was settings though, that like, was it... I don't remember if it was somebody you had done a consult with, or if it was like fixing stuff for Maine, or what it was.
I don't remember, dog, but I have, and so apparently the settings on these recordings now are also fucked up again.
Okay, so could that be an OBS thing? I only ask because Red stuff just got fucked up. Does that happen when it updates, or like...
It can on sometimes, yeah. Oh, that's right, I remember him bitching about that.
Well, that was like a week ago, right? Because I told you that, and then he didn't have videos for a week.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that.
So, like, I don't know if there was an update that it got weird or what.
It fucking happens,
Because
dude.
it wiped his all the way to scratch, but yours sometimes just does things.
At this rate, look, at the end of the day, I'm simply trying to survive, is about where it goes with me. I think, you know, I didn't even think about that, though. It probably did reset all my shit.
Like, that's the only reason I'm thinking about it, is I remember him saying that, like, a week, it might have been like a week and a half ago.
Well, the interesting. Because it's not...
Yeah, like the time you had to fight a 15-round title fight just to get fucking sound. Yep, that's like every other
That
stream,
was
though.
real, bro. That was... Well, so, and that's the problem, is half of the fucking technical issues I wind up having...
aren't because it's a 2-computer setup. Just so we're clear. Most of those issues are just weird fucking issues.
For no fucking reason.
Like, 1 in 10 times is it because it's a 2-computer setup.
Also, Omadon, thank you so much for doing a giveaway for one of the Bite-A-Bit stickers. Beanie Man has won the giveaway. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, dude, I don't even know anymore. I'm just trying to live.
Fuck.
And he was saying that the tracks are off now. I'm not fucking with this shit right now.
What's off?
I guess he was saying that, like, the audio tracks are interwoven again or something. I don't know. We're
just living.
Trying to fucking live at this rate. Anyhow, I tried to set up Pacopia, and that I didn't get my my hair is a long story. Thank you. I did my hair myself recently. Because
violence was almost
the girl. So, like, a month and a half ago, I went and I wanted to add, like, black striping through my hair and have it be mostly, like, reddish copper, right? Cool. So I was like, all right. So I told the person what I wanted. Bless, I just don't think that this girl had enough technical experience to be able to achieve what I requested. Fine, shit happens. My hair winds up mostly black again because the ends of my hair were so porous that the color just bled. So instead of being, like, separated into the striping and then mostly copper, my hair just turned a weird fucking shade of, like, I don't even know what that was. It was like a grayish black at the ends or some shit.
It was like a weird silvery black color, but just on the ends.
But just on the ends and, like, interwoven throughout. So I was like, all right, man. Wicker, thank you for that. I appreciate the 4 bits. A Coca-Cola advertisement is malevolent. It was Pepsi. And it was Cindy Crawford. But, yeah, that's well played. Also, Homer, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Also, you guys, Kung Fu Banana and Shmanyu with the fucking streaks, dude. That's crazy shit. But yeah, so they tried, goddammit, and it wound up being, like, grayish black. Thanks for the bits, Ray. We love that. And after that wound up happening, I was like, all right, fuck, whatever. So I had to leave it alone because the tips were so fucked up. And then she cut it wrong. She cut a lot more of my hair off than she was supposed to. And I was like, okay, fine. So a month passes, and I wind up going to another lady. And I want to know, I gotta ask, I'm gonna ask y'all if I was being unreasonable. Because this is a situation where I had to, like, show up and ask Ellis afterwards, because Ellis was not with me, and he usually is, because I use him as my buffer. I had to ask Ellis if I was being irrational, if it was me and just my perception.
Usually I'm there to understand.
Because I wound up going into a different hairstylist place because I wanted it fixed. And I was like, all right, fine. So I go to this place and I'm 5 minutes early. Fine, no big deal. And so the host sits me and I'm waiting in this salon person's chair and the stylist chair. And the stylist is with another client. Fine, no big deal. So I'm like a foot away from this woman, mind you. She's not talking to this client that she's doing a dye job on. Not saying anything, just doing the job. Fine. So I'm like, all right, no big deal, whatever, right? So I sit there for a few minutes. Gets to be my time. She knows I'm sitting there. She's looked at me twice. Doesn't say fucking anything to me. And I'm like, all right. She's busy. It's no big deal. She leaves the client, walks by me, doesn't say anything, and then disappears for a second. And I'm like, okay, well, it's now 10 minutes past my time. She's walked by 2 more times and still has not said a word, and it is 10 minutes past my appointment time. Finally, at 12 minutes past my appointment time, she comes over and she goes, oh, well, you must be Autumn. And I was like, so I was polite. I explained the situation. She proceeds to go, as I'm explaining, mind you, I've been doing my own hair mostly, like with the exception of really like crazy shit. But I mostly do my own fucking hair. You know, I've been doing it for over fucking 20 years.
As long as I've known you.
So this lady looks at me as I explained to her. I'm like, yeah, so the technician that originally did my hair didn't realize, despite me telling her everything I had done and what I had used, that the ends of my hair were so porous that it was just going to bleed the color. And like, here's what happened. And she's like touching my hair and she looks at me and she's like,
Sean, you. Sorry.
Yeah, you must be the bitch who's ignoring me and is about to fuck up my hair. Yeah. So she's like touching my hair and she's like got this look on her face and she goes, oh, so like, are you usually red? And I was like, well, I'm naturally auburn red. Yes. So, but, depending on the season, sometimes I'll have my hair black and then I'll go back to red. But those are really the only 2 colors that I am at any point anymore because I just don't see a reason. And I said, but it was different this time because I went to have like tiger, like, that's fair. Kind of, yeah. Thanks, Wicker. I went back to have, like, tiger striping put in, like, non-symmetrical black striping, but it was supposed to be predominantly copper. And she's like, all right, and stares at me for a second. And so I said, obviously that didn't happen because now it's just one mass of weird color. And she goes, well, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna go black, then I would just buy a wig instead of, like, bothering with that. Because that's just gonna create problems for you every time. And I went, let me rephrase. I've been doing my own hair just fine for a long time. And it wasn't until the recent issue with another hairstylist who was supposed to leave it mostly copper where this occurred. Because she didn't listen to what I told her. Uh-huh. And she goes, oh, well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is if you want to actually like go, black and so on instead of just, doing that, I think that maybe you could consider just using a wig for that period of time instead, and it would probably just save you some problems. And I'm like,
oh, sorry, I didn't know I was here for a lecture.
Okay.
So,
I was like, okay, yeah, got that. So, I'm just trying to get it back to copper. That's all. I said I am fully under the understanding that not only am I going to have to do a color removal, but it's probably going to take, Natty, thank you for the follow, but it's probably going to take 2 sessions because I understand how this works. I was like, so I know that you'll have to do a color removal, and then we'll probably have to do 1 or 2 conditioning treatments, and then do the copper. And she starts threading through my hair again, and she looks at me and she goes, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you, but just so you're aware, there's no way we're going to be able to get back to this copper red without having it be like a darker shade. And she points out, I shit you not, if I'm lying, the tech ghost will shut me down, okay? She points at fucking burgundy. Mind you, burgundy and copper are not the same color. Burgundy is like fucking purple red. Okay? So there's color segments, R, V, so on and so forth, when you look at color segments in hairstyling, right? V, violet, all right, burgundy is a fuck ton of violet. And she goes, well, that's just a lot of blues and purples that's going to be going in there if we do that. So, like, I just think that, this darker shade is going to be where you wind up. So you just need to be prepared for that. I was like...
So, this whole situation happens, and she comes home, and she's like, I need to understand...
Ayudame, piece of Mahado.
If I'm the bitch, or if she's the bitch. And she tells me this story, and I look at her, and I was like... Ah, yes, the basic customer service that was entirely missing, coupled with the fact that she wasn't listening to you, and I'm just going to be super real about it. It's a very live, laugh, love salon, and Autumn did not look like she should be there. No. And I say that because this is not the first time this has happened to us.
No.
But all of that having been said, I was like, no, she was an unprofessional bitch who didn't want to fuck with you, nor listen to you. And Ray, to answer your question, yes, we seem to have issues with hair appointments. I had that issue that you brought up last year where they were doing a TikTok trend instead of cutting my fucking hair.
Yeah.
So we're just cursed, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Wicker Man, thank you for those.
But no, she had to field it through me because this was one of the few times that I wasn't with her. And it's probably better that I wasn't because I would have told her to just leave.
And I legitimately, like... Thanks.
I have no
I appreciate
problem.
that, JP. So I legitimately had to, like, steel myself this whole time. I was not impolite. I want to be very clear. Because Ellis is the only reason that I will unmask in a situation publicly in any capacity. And even then, I am so, like, fucking Pavloved into having to respond in what is assumed to be an appropriate social manner. Because I had to. That was my survival, right? So, like, for the most part, I'm never impolite unless someone is impolite to me and it, like, triggers that immediate obstinance response. And I was polite to this woman when I was trying to explain these things. And I finally just went, so she said that final bit about, like, pointing out burgundy. And I was like, well, no, I'm trying to get it to this deeper copper color. And she's like, yeah, well, you just need to be prepared that it's probably not going to do that on the first try. Mind you, I have done my own hair for, like, fucking 20 years. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So I leave the salon. Basically, like, I made an appointment because at that point I was...
making an appointment to shut her up.
Basically, yeah, because she walked with me. She did that fucking bullshit. So she walks with me to the front, and she's like, so we'll see you blah, blah, blah on this day at this time. And I'm like, Yep. So I left, asked him, got home, and was like, brother, tell me that it was me. Like, is it me? Did I fuck? Was I the fuck up? Did I fuck up? What? And I was like, I called my grandma too. On the way home.
Who also said the same
because
shit
I knew my grandma would, like, be like the bro in the situation and tell me if, there was something off. So I explained the situation to my grandma. My grandma goes, well, she sounds like she was just stupid as hell.
Yeah, Grandma.
And I was like, yeah, Grandma, you right. And she's like, well, you just need to figure out how to do it on your own. I think you do it better anyway. And I was like, so you know what, Grandma, you're right. So I got mad. And I get home, I put this shit in my hair that's like a really fucking, like a salon level conditioning agent. Let it sit, wait like 3 days. I tell Ellis, I'm like, I can't do this with this anymore. It looks like shit. And he's like, all right, well, you know, what are you going to do? Are you going to go ahead and do this appointment? And I was like, no. So I canceled it. And then I went, all she's going to do, right? I said, the only reason I went to that appointment is I wanted to validate what I already knew. And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, the only reason I wanted to go is so that I could confirm what I knew, which was do this color stripping, right? Color removal. So you strip the color out of the hair, let it do its thing, do a conditioning treatment, and then do whatever dye you're going to do. But remember that because sometimes the color doesn't lift appropriately, that it's going to lift one level lower. So you need to get a slightly lighter color than what you want it to be.
So the missing piece before she goes into her just doing her hair, my favorite part of this story.
I love my grandma, bro.
Is, yeah, her grandma's great. So she gets mad and we go to Sally's. The hose at Sally's.
I love it.
There are 2 settings of hose that work at Sally's.
I love that.
It's either the mom,
yeah,
right, that like has the Starbucks in her hand,
yep,
or it's the grown-up version of the girl that used to wear Cookie Monster pants in high school.
Yep.
I was one of those, for example.
Or the Hot Cheetos girl.
Yeah, right. So we go into Sally's and they're like, can we help you with anything? And Autumn turns around and is like, here's what's going on. Here's what just happened. Here's what I'm trying to do. And the hoes at Sally's are like, oh yeah, that'll work. Use this, 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 and this. And gives her 20 times more useful information than the certified license holding people from the salon that she just talked to. Yes, the Beckys and the Karens.
Yeah.
They did her beyond correct.
Nah. So these bitches at Sally's, man, I love them so much.
They
and
never
they know.
fail.
And they know the joke is like, and I say they know who I am, not in the sense of like, oh, that's Autumn Ivy. Like, I mean, like they know who I am, as in we're in there because I'm either getting like bleach or like toner for his hair, or you know, I'm getting like scissors or something, you know, whatever. So yeah, exactly. They visually know who I am. So, and we've had enough conversations that they know what I'm doing, right? And like I've helped customers for them. So
Sally's is like a,
you buy
like
hair salon
hair dye,
products,
hair salon
or
stuff,
like
nail
salon
polish,
stuff.
makeup. Yeah, it's a beauty store.
Hi, Riley.
Sally's Beauty is what it's called.
Yeah, I'm a regular customer, so they're familiar with who I am. And so like I walked in and the one girl is funny because there's the one manager and then there's this other girl that works there, and she's helping a younger girl who's looking through like various like bright hair color dyes, and like I think she's trying to figure out how to do it because it occurs to me that this woman's never done it. And so this girl.
Oh, to clarify, these are the good Karens, not the shitty Karens.
Yeah, positive.
These are like Karens of the light, not Karens of
Karens
the
of the light.
Jedi Karens, if you will.
So she looks up and she goes, hi, welcome into Sally's. And she stops and she looks at me and she goes, oh, I assume you don't need help with what you... And I went, no, I'm good.
Thanks, Mom.
But thank you. And she goes, I got you. It's cool. And so I walk by, I start looking at stuff, and like I grab what I assume I'm needing, and I'm like looking for the color stripper, the hair color remover. And I turn, and she, like, meanders around. And I said, actually, I do have a question. And she goes, oh? And I'm like, all right, so hear me out. And so I regale the tale of what has occurred. And she looks at me, and she goes, oh, my God. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm just going to do it myself. And she goes, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Also, we have an ad starting in 50 seconds. Please don't go anywhere. But, yeah, so... I wound up buying the color stripper. I get the other shit that I need. I go the fuck home. I put the color stripper in. It turns like within probably maybe 15 minutes, it turns blonde, like that deep gold blonde. And I'm like, perfect.
Exactly where it needs to be.
Because I know the second that I put copper in it, or like the fucking like good shit that's just a straight red, it'll go to where it needs to be. So I do that. I put the shit in, I strip it, I leave it blonde for like probably a week, and then I put conditioner in it, and then I put my shit in. I put red in, and now here we are, and I fixed my hair for like $20. versus the fucking $300 that I'm confident that
Before
this other
tip.
bitch would have charged me because she wanted to do like 2 or 3 fucking sessions. And I was like, dude, and my hair, like, it's the same condition that it would have been in leaving a fucking salon in the first place. Oh, yeah. No, they charge because you have to do the color remover, and then you've got the toner, and then you've got the dye. And she wanted to do...
Also, potentially a conditioner.
No, not potentially. She wanted to do a conditioning treatment, which is separate, which would have taken at least 2 sessions. So, yeah, by the time you tip and all that other shit, exactly. That 100% for women's hair. So, men's haircuts, right, are usually like 30, 40 bucks on a high end. Women's haircuts sometimes 50, 60, depending.
I'm going to give you an example of this.
Oh, man.
And I don't take this personally before I tell you this story. It's totally okay because this was still a little bit earlier in my transition, and even now I'm still pretty androgynous. It's fine. We went into a hair salon where we both were going to get a haircut. And on the phone, we had told the lady, hey, it's, me as husband and my wife, we're going to get haircuts, blah, blah, blah. We get in there, and then they do our hair, and they get ready to try to charge me for, like, a short women's cut.
Yep.
And Autumn, like, politely corrects them, and the price comes down $30 fucking dollars.
Mm-hmm.
$30 just
so,
because it's a men's cut.
To clarify with you guys, they were not going to change it.
Oh, yeah, they were going to make it stay.
I booked it as a men's cut, right? And it was not because I was trying to fucking be schwasty or, like, some bullshit. I booked it as a men's cut. That's what it fucking is. That's it. Period. End of story. No further conversation. That is a men's cut, right? So, initially, it was a woman at the front desk, and she came up and she's like, oh, well, you booked a men's cut, right? And I was like, yeah, that's for him. And she looks at him, looks at me, and she goes, well, that has to be a short women's cut. And I'm like, it's a men's cut. That is a man. It is a men's cut. And she kind of stares at me. And so there's this, which this was back in Arizona. So let me be clear. It's a little different environment. This was not up in the PNW. So there was a very adorable, very gay man who worked at this salon, who usually works the desk. This younger gal that had taken over, I think, was one of the other stylists that was just up there. The gay guy that was just chill and, like, such a sweetheart had, I think, seen this and heard it and immediately fucking comes in. And he goes, oh, I've got this. I'll take care of it. And she goes, okay, and, like, leaves. And he looks at me and he goes, I apologize for that. And then, like, does, like, type some shit and then gives me the total, which is the correct total, including a men's cut. And I didn't say anything. I just said, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. And he just nodded and smiled. And I said, have a nice day, whatever. I paid for it and I fucking left. I tipped for what we needed to tip for. The other lady did not get a tip. I made sure. So, with that said, I don't ask for much. Just be fucking polite, dog. Like, that's it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, locomotive, exactly.
$50 to a hairdresser, because I was told about their pricing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Natty. The whole hair dye wig situation thing, essentially the person, well, you don't like traffic, just get a helicopter. Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes.
pretty fucking accurate, actually.
I appreciate that. Also, thank you, Natty, for being patient. Please understand the follower thing is intentional because we have a time or two had some hate raids come in. So I tried just to be conscientious about that. So thank you for being understanding. Dev, thank you for the follow. Also, Fears, I appreciate you. Thank you for the follow. I'm not usually, like, talking about hair and shit all the time. I want to be clear, but, yeah.
Like, before we moved out here, we were able to, like, either find a solid hairdresser or, like, even earlier before that, like, before I got with Autumn, I always had either my best friend or my ex-boyfriend, who was still a good friend, cut my hair.
Yeah.
But since we have moved up here to the PNW, there are two things, for the love of God, that we cannot find consistently, and it's tattoo artists and hairdressers. Mm-hmm. And that's the only bitch that I've got.
Well, so the one lady who is the owner of the shop that I went to, right? like, she does a really good job with Ellis's hair to cut it. Yeah. Because she owns the shop. She knows what the fuck she's doing, right? So, like, she's fine. My issue is I didn't realize that was covering your face. Sorry.
I don't care.
The issue that I've got is that I like the girl who usually tries to trim my hair and, like, you know, that tried to dye it. She did not do it maliciously. She just, unfortunately, was more inexperienced than that particular style required.
Well, and here's the thing. The first time, it went good.
Yeah, but that's because she had done a different type of request.
Right, and the second time was where it went south.
Yeah, because she didn't, she should have fined the layers and then washed out with the darker layers still in processing, and, like, instead, she tried to wash it together, which is what caused the bleed. Because, again, my hair was porous, and I warned her that was going to happen. And she tried to ask one of her other hairstylist peers, like, because she panicked, and I could hear it. I wasn't mean. I wasn't disrespectful. I thanked her. I still tipped her, because I understood that this was not something that she had accounted for. And
versus the other lady.
Yeah, versus this other woman who was just a bitch. But, like, you know. I'm a dude with a solid foot of hair. When I used to go to salons, I paid women's prices. At Supercuts, I paid dudes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like
Supercuts is a little underrated in my opinion.
I mean, Supercuts has never had a fucking problem as far as I've been concerned.
No. I think people get weary because they think of, like, Supercuts or Sports Clips, and they're like, oh, well, it's just, like, no.
It's a stigma.
I've never had a bad time. Whether I was still femme presenting and my hair was down to my ass, or now with it being short, I've never been done wrong by those
What's
folks.
the worst thing that's happened to you guys at your hair appointments?
Your bangs, bro.
It wasn't just my bangs. It was when... So, I had... I wanted to get my hair... Like, my hair was starting to grow out again. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get it cut back shorter. But the style that I wanted was, like, Sybil Bennett, but more like front shag, right? So I showed a picture to this woman, 2 different styles, and clarified with her, like, I still want some of the length in the front. And she was like, yeah, okay, I got it. She cut off all of my hair and left no length for like, even shag or bangs in any capacity. Like, my hair for, like, my bangs was at my hairline.
This was like an actual cry-worthy haircut.
And it was not even close to what I asked for. It was not close to the references. I double checked with her multiple times. And this was one of those situations where she took the hair and just cut it. Like, did not do, like, a length check. Did not, like, start. Because the intelligent way to kind of go about it, in my opinion, is to start at, like, a slightly lesser length than what the client asks for, right? And then work your way through it if you need to, and do trimming and so on. This woman straight up just went and cut it, and then it was too late. There was no fixing it at that point.
No. Catastrophic foobar.
And as soon as she did it, she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I immediately went, oh. And she goes, well, and she starts to finish the cut. I haven't said a word. It's all over my face. Like, I went, and I know that there's going to be people who are going to be weird and combative about it, but again, I remind everybody lovingly and politely that I am diagnosed. I have the paperwork. I went completely fucking nonverbal. I could not, like, everything went out the fucking window. Because my brain had already figured out that, yeah, so this was back when my hair was shorter, yeah. But I had started kind of shagging it out, and the cut that I requested was still a little shaggy. It was just much shorter. She cut it completely off. And so when I looked at it and I realized what had happened, my brain kicked into gear, and it went, oh my God. And then everything in all of my system went, oh my God. And I just shut the fuck down. And so Ellis was with me that time when, the short hair.
Oh, yeah.
Ellis was with me that time, and I went nonverbal. I completely shut down. I didn't say anything. And Ellis just looked at me, and he knew. And
But I can't crash out in situations like that unless I get the nod.
yeah.
And very rarely do I get the nod to crash out in lieu or on behest of her.
So I just shut down, and she finished the cut, and she went, okay, we're all done. And I just looked at her, and she goes, well, and I just looked at her, and I didn't say anything. I didn't smile at her. I just kind of looked at her, and then I went, have a nice day. Like, and it wasn't one of those, like, have a nice day. It was like, have a nice day. And I, like, walked to the front. And Ellis just looks at me, and I don't say anything. I don't speak to this woman. I, like, walk up to the front desk. I pay. I think I tipped her, like, $5. I don't even remember, dog. And to which when I did it, Ellis looks at me and he's like, you still tipped her? You didn't say anything? And I just looked at him, and I could not formulate fucking words.
It was a shut up tip.
And I was like, and we just left. And I remember getting in the car, and I remember, like, that I could feel it bubbling. And I just started fucking crying. And Ellis goes, and, like, doesn't know what to say, and is trying to be comforting, and meanwhile, I'm just fucking, like, ah!
I am grateful that I have never had a situation where I've gotten, like, a catastrophically terrible haircut. But that, I think, is because I had my ex or my best friend doing my hair for the longest, because... Yeah. Either one of them would look at me and be like, that's going to be ugly as fuck. We're not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, great. Sounds good. Or they would start to do something and then stop and be like, hey, no. But then, like, once I got my hair cut short, it was never, like, an issue. And Autumn has done all of, like, the dye work for the most part for my hair. Mm-hmm. I think one time, like... maybe it was cut a little bit shorter than I wanted, but, like, that was it. I've never had anything, like, insane that I can think of.
No, I think for the most part, really,
because when my hair was long, it wasn't really, like, styled necessarily, because it was so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say it was to my belt.
It was to his belt line back in the day. I think with you, like, the worst situation really was the kerfuffle with that girl.
Yeah,
that was, I think, the worst. But that was more so...
That wasn't hair-related. That was...
No.
She literally triggered PTSD, and I almost threw up in her fucking salon.
But, like, outside of that, I don't really think he's had anything direct. Because, like he said, I mean, for the most part, he gets the same cut every time. And it's a basic, like, shave side pompadour. We have reference pictures of his hair for that reason. And
Sides it to layer it a little, slick it back. It's very simple.
And then I do all of his bleaching and his toning. So
which
like
my
we
hair
never
is naturally blonde, so it's not like it's difficult.
No, it takes nothing to do it. I got shaved bald, but I look like Kingpin's dumpy half cousin Marvin. Damn. I bet you're a cute Marvin. No, shut up. I bet you're a cute Marvin. I'm a native English speaker, and I haven't made the connection that shaggy and shagging were words that one meaning, so for a thought. No, somebody did that. No, wrong. No.
That's okay. Now you know.
Not shagging in the fuck sense, but that's fair, Natty. Fair enough, man.
Yeah, I think it was the last time that she had bleach or something in my... Oh, no, it was red gold remover, I think.
Yeah, but we were doing your hair.
You were streaming while we were doing my hair.
Yeah, because I wanted to just get it done.
Yeah.
Yes, double meanings can't. Well, so I think there's several words, if I'm not mistaken, that have that that have varied connotations based on like the native English as in British and like England English versus here. So like the slang terms are really, do I make you horny, baby? Yeah. Yes. You get out of here, Austin. Every time I go for a haircut, my usual reference is a photo of a dude from the 1950s.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking works. Whatever fucking works. I do have bad luck with hairstylists, so I just am not fucking doing it anymore. Oh, completely irrelevant, but look.
Wait.
I don't know if you can see it.
your nail?
So, like, you see the black-purple line? I bent my fingernail backwards when I was flipping the hay into the horse's thing today.
Ow.
But, like, it didn't break my nail, which is kind of impressive, because I really half expected my nail to draw back and be, like, snapped off. This is totally irrelevant. I'm so sorry. I looked down and I saw it, because I was like, oh, my nails are dirty, and then I'm like, no, they're not. That's a bruise.
This is why you have acrylics, friends.
No, you don't, because the acrylics fucking hurt worse.
The acrylics
if you
aren't gonna fucking do that. They're gonna catch that motherfucker.
Yeah,
but then
you break the fucking acrylics off and it's worse, dog.
I have only ever broken my nails off maybe 2 or 3 times in my 15 plus years of wearing them.
So bad. Do not pass go. No. Yeah, it's angry.
The only reason I don't have my nails back currently is because we're still doing fighting on and off.
Well, so see, but I didn't know that, worried, because, like, I need you to understand that quite some time ago, I did not take good care of myself in the sense of, like, proper nutrition and, like, proper supplementation and, like, that kind of stuff. So for a period of time, my nails were really brittle and were, like, flaky, right? Which is not good. So I had a really hard time maintaining, like, fingernails like this because they would break off or they would fucking get shitty. So, like, yeah, and then nail biting especially, because, like, I chew the inside of the lining, right? But what Ray said with, like, the paper thin nails, like, that used to be a problem. So I'm not used to it. So my assumption based on that knowledge and, like, past situation is, like, you flip shit and it's gonna go and then your nails just go and that's it. Ow, I didn't mean to do that. But, like, they just snap, right? So today, when that happened and it fucking bent the nail and then I drew back and was like, oh, we good, and I kept flipping the hay.
Yeah, ripping your acrylic clean off is, in fact, extremely painful because it doesn't just come off.
It's glue.
It rips your nail off with it, so it rips the nail clean off the nail bed. If you rip them off, if they break, it's not a big deal. But if you rip them off, yes, it's vicious.
So understand, right? So if you're looking at nails, when they attach it, they glue the acrylic piece to, like, they shave it down and then they give it ledging, put the glue in, and then get all of the acrylic in. And when it's gel acrylics,
right,
it's like, they're like fucking, like, think of it like soldered. Like, this shit is welded to your fucking nail. So if that comes off, your fucking nail is gonna go with, the top layer of your nail goes with it.
So, like, when you're doing some sort of arts and crafts and they tell you to, like, rough 2 surfaces with, like, sandpaper before you glue them together, that's what they do to your nail before they put on the little, usually it's a little plastic piece on the end if you're getting it longer, and then they paint on the acrylic or the gel. So, like, when they do that, there is no separation. There's none.
No.
So, like, occasionally you'll have a nail that will, like, lift from the cuticle, and that's because it's too long. And I freak her out because when I take my nails off, I'll take and jam a nail file under there and just pop them off, and she can't stand it, but I'm used to it. But, like, if it just flat rips the nail free from the nail bed, that I've only experienced once, and it was horrible.
Thanks, I hate it. Gel X nails are worse when they snap.
Yes.
Bub says yes, they are.
I won't do gel nails. I don't like them, but for that reason, because they are worse.
The stubbing your toe, like, the toenail stubbing is also horrible because it's the same concept, right? Like, you flip the nail on your toe, but then you, like, can't fucking walk.
Why are
when
we
that
on,
happens.
like, torture stream hours right now?
I'm not sure how we got here. Oh, because I got distracted. That's how we got here. But yeah, like, was that the predator growl? Not on purpose. No, I can't hang with that because you shove it underneath and you, like, fucking leverage it and pop it off, and it's like,
well, because it's already partially lifted, so I just shove the file under the rest of the way and tear them off, and it freaks her out.
I accidentally stabbed myself in the sole of the foot with an X-Acto knife.
Ow!
I would imagine.
Ow!
I can't say anything though because, like, my feet have been stepped on, like,
by horses,
and, like, I've seen, like, I mean, I've had it, but I've had, like, the bruising from where they, like, slam their fucking hoof down and then drag across your foot.
Love it.
So, like, I can't say anything. Have we tried waterboarding B-Guy? You know, he hasn't been back recently. He hasn't been back recently, which means he's going to show up in about 30 minutes. Also, I'm so glad, dude, let me explain. Hold on, wait, I gotta, okay. Y'all motherfuckers that were on Discord yesterday, some of you were in Discord yesterday listening to me record the erotic horror audiobook that I had to do. All right, some of you guys fucking know. So I didn't come back for part 2, okay? I didn't come back for part 2 to narrate on Discord. Let me explain.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. I saved you guys time. I saved you fucking sanity.
On that
You're
note,
welcome.
I have to go get started, but I will listen to this from the gym.
It was fucking garbage.
I will see you.
Absolute fucking
Horrible.
garbage. Like, listen. I've done some shit. Okay, I have done some shit. I have read some lines. I have acted some shit. Whatever. Look, all I need you to know, because I can't say much, all I need you to fucking know is I saved you guys. I took that upon myself to be the martyr here, okay? Because there was shit that I had to stop in the descriptions, literally mid-recording, and go, what? What does that mean? What does that mean? That's not what was happening 2 sentences ago. Why are we here? How did that happen? That didn't, like, imagine if Saw, okay? Imagine if Saw, the very first Saw, okay? And if you guys haven't seen Saw, TLDR, spoiler alert from like 2009, but like, imagine if Saw happened and they were like, man, I've got to cut off my leg. Welp, and then just starts cutting off their leg. Mind you, they didn't establish like anything past that, okay? And they're doing it with a chainsaw for no reason. No explanation. Didn't confirm the who, what, where, when, why, or how. Just did it. But then they were like, oh, but no, that's just gore corn. That's just gore corn. It's not purposeful. No, it's not even, but no chainsaw. No style point chainsaw, Sean. Look, man, I wanna play you guys. I don't think I saved it. Here, look, hold on. I don't know if I can play these. I don't know, hold on. I'm gonna look at something. I don't know if I can play these. Hold on a second. Hold on. I need you guys to understand that, like, I have 4 minutes of this shit, okay? I'm gonna mute myself. Hold on. I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay? I'm gonna play this for you. I can skip through this one. I'm gonna have to skip through it periodically.
With more force into my hands, groaning while gaping up at the sky. What is he, a fucking turkey? Is he waiting?
Okay. Now, that's just one of a few. Okay, I can't play this next one But just imagine that, like, they're doing their thing, and he, like, pulls the thing, and then he goes, pat, 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 against a certain place.
This bitch does not get out. This bitch...
Okay. Hold on. There's more. I think this one might be safe. Here.
And my nose pushes against his pubic bone. Damn, bitch, are you dick sucker of the year? Do you just take it to the base like that without fucking prep? Because that's a goddamn lie. I know you're choking on that shit. You are fucking choking on that shit, and you're a goddamn liar if you're trying to sit there and tell me that you ain't ready for that. Like, you are kneeling in front of this man. I know for a fact that depending on the size of the dick, either that or he's a small dick dude, which is totally fine. He could be a small dick dude, but don't fucking lie to me in the descriptions either.
There's more. Hold on.
I shift restlessly when it feels like I can't take it anymore, and he slips his tongue in. Damn, bitch, how wide is your asshole? What do you mean? What do you mean he just slips it in? That's not how assholes work. Slap.
Hold on. Yeah, he went, what? And the description was so bad, dog, that I was like, wait a minute. I can't play that one, but I'll play my reaction. So he, like, slaps the sausage on the peach, and then she proceeds to scream, "Oh, I'm your dirty horror." Right? And they're in the middle of the woods, not too far from a campground, mind you. And she's screaming this as loud as she can.
You just screaming this shit in the woods? Like, out loud? Like, you know for a fact that your ass is probably near some trails, because you ain't alone out there just because you camped away from the fucking camping spot. Like, don't fucking lie to me right now. That is not a private ass area. You are such a fucking bitch. Be for real.
You notice that my octave, like the tone and the octaves went up? Like, hold on. There's more. I might get banned for this one, but I'm going to play it anyway.
Easing his pace for a moment, one of his hands lets go of my thigh. I hear him spit, and a thin line of saliva connects with my tight hole. Is by chance this the same hole that you, well, I don't know, he happened to shove his tongue into? So, like, which is it? Is it a tight hole, or did he, like, fit his whole fucking tongue into it? Because, like, I know for a fact that the tongue, being a very, you know, like, dominant muscle in the body, has the capability to do something that a finger could do, but, like, don't fucking lie to me either. So, like, where are we at with your asshole, bitch? I'm just not sure where we're lining up. That's all. I don't get it.
Where are we with your asshole? Hold on. There's a little more. The damning sentence, everybody.
My mind wanders as I That sentence! That sentence I fucking hate! No!
Mind you, I didn't peek, which is impressive.
After being bullied in high school, it changed the way I see people. Oh my fucking God. Get over yourself.
So, here's the deal. Schrodinger's asshole is one of the best ways that you could possibly have fucking put that. Also, we have an ad break starting in 5 seconds. Please don't go anywhere. So I was recording a new book, and I got 2 chapters in and fucking lost my mind. I don't know if I want to tell him, Ray. Ray was there. Ray knows what happened after she said that she was bullied in high school. In high school. Mind you, this woman's 30. Yes! Jesus fucking Christ! Okay, so she proceeds to talk about how she has trust issues because, oh, well, I was bullied in high school, so, like, I learned that I had to be really suspicious of people, and I just wasn't really sure, and I was like, oh, okay, sure. But then she proceeds to take a drink from fucking strangers, and I don't mean kind of, I mean she took a drink she did not watch them make from a stranger in the woods. And I immediately, having read this, looked at chat and went, oh, y'all know that shit's drugged, right? Like, y'all know that they drugged her right now, right? Mind you, the entire dialogue at this point is she's like, well, I mean, maybe I could, like, trust them, though, even though I went through that when I was in high school, even though I'm 30 years old now and could have processed that ages ago, but that's fine. But she was fine with it, because then they proceed to be like, haha, maybe we, like, drugged it with, like, ecstasy, blah, blah, or something. And she's like, I mean, since we're here, and then it... Yes, Ray is correct. They proceeded to have funter course in front of her boyfriend, who is also just watching this. They did not have a conversation about this ahead of time. It was never established that that was potentially something that was just going to be cool. And then he jorked it on her face, and that's where it stopped. I'm cool with a lot of things. I really am. I'm fine. I'm a bro. I'm a bro. I'm a girl's girl. I'm a dude's guy. I'm a man's... Man? I'm good. I don't mind. It doesn't it's cool, but, like... I don't think I can read those tags, Ray. I don't think I can. I will simply tell you that the trigger warnings... Alright, let me put it like this. Y'all motherfuckers know that I love horror, right? Like, obviously, I do indie horror streams. Indie horror is my bag, right? Like, my shit started in horror and creepypastas and stuff, right? I'm good. I love it. I like gore when it's purposeful, when it's intentional for storytelling and not bullshit Terrifier level shock value. It's not gore corn simply for the fact of being gore corn, okay? Like, it's fine. That's not the fucking problem here. Showing up to functions uninvited just to put wet 2-day-old sock taste pill in people's drinks when they don't pay attention to prove a point. I just saw that. But that's what I'm saying, is like, please understand that I'm there for it, right? Like, I've seen the banned film list. I've watched like fucking Salo and Cannibal Holocaust and like fucking Serbian. I've watched all of that shit, okay? Understand, I'm down for that. But there is a certain element of like intelligence that I personally require in I've seen a lot of shit, Valkian. Like, the list of banned films that you can, yeah, I've went through, I think, almost every single one of them. So, but I do that because I like to understand the psychology behind what would have driven someone to push a limit to that degree. And I know that sounds really strange, but it's the same reason that I'm really into, like medical and medieval torture concepts, and, like, I wrote a paper on a lot of things, like the studies therein of, like, the batshit crazy scientists that used to do the stuff. Like, anyway. So, I have a thing about shock value, right? So, I think that shock value has a place in horror. I think that it has value to a certain degree, but only if it's purposeful and there is intention within the bubble. And it's not just for the sake of being gore. So again, you know, and I do target Terrifier because some of chat, and look, if you like it, do your thing. I think David's a phenomenal person. He was very sweet when I had the opportunity to speak to him. Great guy. Love his interpretation. The character itself is really fucking cool in theory. But I will tell you that I think that from a writing standpoint and from just a base level, it's not intended to be anything other than gore porn. That was the gore porn was the initial purpose for that shit. It doesn't have any fucking thing beyond that. The first movie, I was like, all right, cool. I can get behind this. Like, you know, interesting concept, interesting takes. Anything past that was bullshit. It was absolute dog shit. And I felt like it was nothing but self-involved, like, jerk off material. Like, you were just jerking yourself off by editing it and writing it and doing it all yourself, and then not cutting any of it and making it purposeful. Like, by that point, it wasn't worth it. So, like, some of the stuff, if it's purposeful, I'm fine. So, the issue that came with this specific type is don't throw erotic horror up for something in a grand scheme of, like, horror element, and then just throw sexual implication and that kind of thing into it, and, like, suddenly it's just boom, that's erotic horror. So there's a film called Bone Lake. Bone Lake was released, I think, a couple of months ago, and I bring it up on purpose. We're still on target, mind you. Yeah, what the fuck was with that? So this fucking, they also had this weird thing where the author really fucking needed you to know what these characters were wearing. Every fucking chapter. Every time something changed or a scene changed or a new day came, they had to make sure that you knew what the fuck these guys were wearing. Like, absolutely had to you needed to know that it was, god damn it, he had on unlaced boots and black pants and no shirt, and, like, you just fucking needed to know that shit. Was it purposeful? No. Did it have anything to do with the scene? Like, if you want to establish that they're wearing, like, an oversized hoodie and sneakers because, like, later on in the story, like, she tears the hoodie and, like, a scrap of it is left behind on a tree, and, like, that's how they find her later. Like, if it fucking makes sense to do it, that's different. This didn't make any fucking sense. Nobody gives a shit what you're wearing when there's fucking horrendous bullshit going on. It's not like at any point in time as you're, like, watching the movie or reading the book or whatever that, like, the character's gonna go fit check and then, like, fuck off into the distance in the middle of whatever's happening. It's not an anime fucking sequence where there's an anime introduction occurring every time. I couldn't, yeah, like, and then there was an entire description spent on the fact that the dude was commando under his pants, and he, like, goes to jerk his pants down, and I'm like, man, his dick's gonna get caught in the zipper. That's it. He's gonna fucking deglove his own weenus because he just wasn't paying attention. I can't fucking do it. I'm dead ass serious, though. It's like, oh, God. Anita Blake. I know who Anita Blake is, actually. I've read Anita Blake's books. At least Anita Blake, though, is fucking hilarious in some of that. What was it, like Circus of the Damned or whatever? I don't know. I've got one of the books back there. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was very Ben Stiller in Something About Mary. And I was like, that's all I could think of while I was reading this. I'm like, this is not even funny. Deglove his weenus. You're very welcome. But that's what I'm saying, is like, I saved you guys yesterday. It only got worse, dog. It only got worse. I could not keep it together. I had on Balenciagas before the... Well, I had on Balenciagas before this psycho chopped my feet off, but, like, it's not so bad, because, like, now I can wear a smaller shoe size and nobody knows. Like, oh my god! No, it's probably for the best, Valkian. You didn't miss anything. It's good. It's gravy. I just need... I need substance. And then I try to remember that, like, not everything is obviously made for you, you know? Sometimes it doesn't cue in, but I just feel like it's important. Yeah, she picked up the fucking bloody handcuffs to tell us they were, but then it wasn't on her fingers? Like, it didn't it wasn't dried? What do you fucking mean? You do that voice too well. Oh, do you mean this voice? Like, I know, right? Look, all I'm saying is I would have several nickels for the amount of times I have been cast as a bimbo or a valley girl, which is a weird amount of nickels to have when my natural voice is at this level. Which, even that, so I've sustained vocal damage, and I am unfortunately very susceptible to laryngitis. So I have some issues vocally, and it's gotten worse over the years the more that I speak and perform and do things. But it is very strange that this is how I normally speak, and the second that I, like, flip in, I should not have the amount of roles to play a valley girl that I have, which is very strange. Did you like the love triangle in the ranch book? I mean, fuck, man. At least that one made sense. I don't know. Please don't do the uwu. You can pay me not to. Stop the valley. Your valley's uncanny valley. It was. At least all of the brothers being into the one girl was like, okay, man, like, you're just fucking all the brothers. It's a family affair. Like, I don't know. This was not that, though. I feel like I collectively, girl, you talk like this? Yeah, and then on top of it, so one of my pet peeves in like spicy material is utilizing medical terminology. Okay? Like, and do not ban me. Do not eliminate me. These are medical terms. I'm using medical terminology. Okay? Drives me nuts. In smexy time material, not in a medical capacity. They utilize medical terminology. So, like, they'll write down a sentence, but they'll use words like vaginal, or like phrase like vaginal wall, or vagina, or like penis. And I'm like, bro, what? Why are you... They're getting down. Like, what do you fucking mean? You're just gonna throw that in there? And then he... Like, I can't read it normally. I can't read it normally because you wrote something in that had medical terms. And then you're like... And then, as he proceeded to penetrate, I could feel it against my vaginal walls. And, like, mind you, you're supposed to be hot right now. Like, you're supposed to be like, oh man, I'm getting into this. I'm so hot. Like, my boyfriend's gonna be so happy. My girlfriend's gonna be so happy. My they-thems are gonna be so happy. No, bitch. No, they're not. Go, like, you fucking liar. No, I don't want to fucking hear that. Like, but even cervix, but even the word, the medical term cervix, even that is forgivable based on the context. I can't. Do you understand? No, but Harrison's completely fucking correct. I knew his testicles were there. Like, stop. 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 GLaDOS sex. No! identical. Exactly. His gonads were present. I can't imagine doing a Transformers movie needing to scream Bumblebee multiple times. Look, no, brother. Dry as the fucking Sahara. Look, the Badlands Desert at peak summertime in the hottest point of the day, in the hottest day of the week, in the hottest week of the month. Dry. I could not. Yeah, what the fuck was that? She sticks her finger in his mouth all the way to his throat. But the description is that she, like, stuck her fingers into his mouth, but reached the back of his throat, like, deep in the back of his throat. To which, exactly what Ray just said. Like, what the fuck? Does she have, like, fucking 10-inch fingers? What do you mean she reached the back of his throat? That's not how that works. I would do it right now, but I know you fuckers would clip it and then be like, ha, and then, like, it just fucking would go out of context on the internet. That's what I'm saying. I was like, what do you mean? What? Your fingers on a good day. Like, and I have decent-sized hands, but, brother, what? I couldn't. No. Yes, I absolutely know better. Thanks, Braxton. Futurama finglongers. Yes, salad fingers. Immediately, I was like, do you also like rusty spoons? What the fuck do you mean that your fingers were all the way to the back of his throat? Like, you were fisting his mouth. Just say it if that's the case. But the description was, ayúdame, pisamato. Description unclear. The sausage fingers from Everything Everywhere All at Once. No. Oh, God. Could you imagine? She just has, like, fucking long-ass nail. Oh, no. No. All I'm gonna say is that whatever GLaDOS and Shell had going on is insanely hotter to all genders than, like, a published erotic literature. Have the throat finger have a paywall. But that's what I'm saying, is I was like, it kept going. It kept going. And it didn't get better. It didn't get better. So I saved you motherfuckers yesterday. I listen and I don't judge. I judge. I judged the fuck out of it. I judged the fuck out of it because it did not make any kind of technical sense to me whatsoever. And I was fucking bound out and done from the very start. There was no fucking way I was going to continue to do that and narrate that and see it and then but I had to. I had to finish it. And I finished it. And I am a good girl for finishing it. God damn it. Oh, the physical descriptions. No! I don't want to remember any of it. Also, hi, Kayla. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I'm 5'5" and, like, skinny, but with big tits. I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. Yeah. It's good. Oh, are we still on the voice change thing? Vanilla maxing. No! Are they... we didn't even get that far in the description. I don't know if they were natural. And even if they weren't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they were implants or if they were natural. The point is that small waist, big tits. Like, that's it. I hate the timeline where this exists. No, you're fine. She said skinny, but doesn't work out like I should. Then said massive tits. Yes, he's correct. Natural book talk. Yes. So Ellis described it as the natural book talk build. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you're shaped like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, you felt the need to go out of your way. Mind you, again, none of this is relevant to the plot. None of it. None of the descriptions. None of this shit was relevant to the plot. Dude, not a single fucking thing. Yeah, and he's just running with his... Yeah, exactly. Ellis, running with his thing, just slinging in the wind with his fucking boots untied. If she's 5'6", not... Off topic, but does Tom Hardy's Bane have a himbo physique? Do we ever see Bane shirtless? I don't think we ever see Tom Hardy's Bane shirtless. I would just assume he's built like Eddie Brock, so yeah, probably. This could have been Chekhov's tits. Not safe for work books have plot? Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Yes. But sometimes not good. Sometimes, honestly, I would prefer they didn't have a plot, because at least that way, I would be fucking set. I'd be fucking set. I'd be good to go. I like top heavy one at first. Now I'm in the words of Jesse the Body Ventura, a sexual tyrannosaurus. I don't know what that means, but fair enough. Yeah, they did. You see the boobs at the start. They get motorboated at the end of the story. But that's, again, what the fuck was the purpose? There was no fucking reason. There was no reason. It was completely non-purposeful. And again, I don't care that you have, like, a skinny waist and you're fucking short with huge tits. I don't care. None of that is relevant to me unless your tits, again, in a horror piece, a very sexy time horror piece, unless they're being fucking cut off at some point, I don't care. It's irrelevant to the plot. I used to think that they should have a plot, but then I've heard some of the shit Autumn showed us. I think, oh wow, locomotive, I throw in the size of my tits in every conversation. It's just how I assert dominance. Do my tits enter the room before I do? Excellent, I'm asserting my dominance ahead of time. That's my confidence. Alright. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're describing something that's, like, in the moment, or, like, you're trying to, like, fluff up the scene with description, right? Completely makes sense. Completely makes it. This was not that. This was not that. It was non-purposeful whatsoever. It had the same vibe as describing the clothing every single time. I don't even think I can remember, like, any book series. Fucking Hunger Games, dog. The only reason that they described outfits in fucking Hunger Games was because, purposefully, they were going for, like showing shit off, and they were meant to, like, fucking basically be like fucking birds, where they were like, ah, yes, look at me, I'm flourishing, I'm supposed to win this competition because I'm so wonderful, but I'm also really strong and really hot and really, like, fucking athletic, and I'm gonna kill everybody else in the Hunger Games. Like, whatever, fine. Ostentatious outfits, I love that. There you go. You've seen Terrifier, now prepare to read the horror that is Terrafucker. Champion powerlifter, doctor of chemistry, own 2 dogs and a bird. Again, so, okay, alright, here, I'll throw some shit your way. Okay, Chuck Palahniuk, right? I like Chuck Palahniuk. I have read Lullaby and fucking, obviously, Choke. Okay, Fight Club, right? Was Palahniuk. Okay, so, Chuck Palahniuk's a very gritty writer. All right. Very gritty, like, just very dirty writer in the sense that he just fucking throws shit out sometimes, right? There have been excerpts from, like, Choke and Lullaby and things like that. Grungy. Yes, exactly. Waymer's got it. So I love Palahniuk because I enjoy reading that kind of style of just, like, get in there kind of shit. Actually, you know what? I don't know. I might have Choke somewhere right here. Hold on. I'm looking. Maybe not. It may not be. It may be in my main bookshelf. All of my Stephen King and Clive Barker are right here. Yeah, I think it's in my main bookshelf. I have a lot of books, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it might be in my main bookshelf. So, here's the thing. Hello, Jeff from Scotland. But, yeah, the film adaptation was a decent effort. So, but that's my point, right? So, Palahniuk, everything that he wrote, even though it was very gritty, had that kind of, I don't know, it was the way that it was done. It sang. Clive Barker. Yes, I have several. 6 Degrees of Christy Cotton. So, Barker's books, especially, I think Scarlet Gospel's down there, and then I have, what else do I have? I have something else down. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. All right. So, because somebody brought up Clive Barker, I have In the Flesh, which is like, right? So In the Flesh is an older book. If I'm not mistaken, this was pre-Cabal. When was this published? So this one was, yeah, so this is an 86 copy. This was 86 copyright. So I'm going to flip to a page and I will give you an example. All right. So somebody tell me when to stop. All right, ready? I'm going to start. You guys tell me when to stop. 1, 2, 3. Okay, stop. Never mind, she said softly. She wasn't angry. He saw only miserable. Come back to the flat. I don't want to. I want you to, he replied. That, at least, was sincerely meant. I don't like talking in the street. He hailed a cab, and they made their way back to Kentish Town, keeping their silence. Halfway up the stairs to the door of the flat, Carol said, "Foul perfume." There was a strong, acidic smell lingering on the stairs. "Somebody's been up here," he said, suddenly anxious, and hurried on up the flight to the front door of his flat. It was open. The lock had been unceremoniously forced. The wood of the door jamb splintered. He cursed. Now listen to me. I'm going to rewrite this as if I work for myself in Book Talk land. Okay? I'm going to rewrite it. Never mind, she said softly. Actually, I have to do it in first-person perspective, because it always is in first-person perspective. Never mind, I said softly. I wasn't angry. Just miserable. Come back to the flat. I don't want to. I want you to, he replied. I guess he was sincere. I don't like talking in the street. I watched him hail a cab. His hand was sexy. We made our way back to Kentish Town, but we didn't talk. We made our way up the stairs to the door of my flat. That smells like foul perfume, I said. It smelled gross. Somebody's been up here, he said. He looked anxious. He hurried up the flight to the front door of his flat. I saw that the door had been broken open. His biceps looked sexy when he flexed. He cursed. What's wrong? He asked breathily. Here's the thing. I didn't hear one use of see or his clothes. How could I get into it if I don't know exactly what they're wearing? Oh, man. No, Natty knows. Never mind, I said softly. I wasn't angry, just miserable, depressed, solitary, alone, empty like the color blue. Yeah. No. So one of my other favorite things that they'll do oftentimes is they will fucking do that and like list 15 things using multiple commas. It's true. Here's the thing. Look, all right, listen. I'm not fucking dogging you if you're the type of writer that likes to like, no, they will use phrases like breathily. The amount of fucking times, dog, yesterday that I read the word breathily or like insert word illy at the end of it, I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm not even fucking kidding. And these are not normal words like angrily, right? Like, at no point, if you guys give me an excerpt from a shitty written like a shitty written sentence, I fucking guarantee you that I can show you at least 3 different ways to write it that sounds semi-fucking decent. And it takes nothing. It takes fucking... She breasted boobily. Yes, that shit. I can't fucking handle it. He spoke breathily, which was weird because he was a robot. He didn't need to breathe. Where was that coming from? See, but even that, like, type of humor that Natty just put out there, that is very, like, in my opinion, very, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy type humor, right? So reading something like that when you're going into a book, knowing the type of, like, weird, omnipotent, fucking third-person, like, unreliable narrator bullshit, you know, that could make sense to me because it's funny. It's like, it's intentionally very, very weird. This is not the same. Some of these people do this and they write these things being 100% fucking serious. Tongue-in-cheek, Waymer, yes. Waymer's right, tongue-in-cheek. I can't believe I've been watching your streams Grandpa-ly this whole time. Damn it, Grandpa, stop Grandpa-ly watching my streams. You know you need to be breathy. Yeah, they were name-dropping, like, musicians, and it was very, I don't know, it was strange. Breathily is where H.P. Lovecraft starts giving you the side-eye over the edge of his thesaurus. Meanwhile, he's just like... And, like, no. If women are boobily, then what the fuck are we, dickily? So did the writer mean for the MC to be out of breath the whole time? Again, they're not even doing anything physical at this point. Like, he's just got her by the hair, and it's like, they're talking. They haven't done anything. And I understand the implication is like, okay, so like if I were reading a line and they were like, hey, you need to be breathy, right? It needs to have some like, you know, like, good boy. Okay, so the phrase good boy becomes, when you're trying to add that breathiness into it and you want it to be sexy, it's like you go from good boy, oh, hey, we need that a little more breathy. And mind you, it's different in acting than it is in writing. Good boy. There's like an undertone, like a that comes with it. So I, from a technical standpoint as an actor, completely understand that shit. I get it. I understand what that means as an actor. But when you're writing it, when you are writing these descriptions, dude, he slid up my leg nuttily. Like, gross as fuck, demonic, but fair. Cell, thank you for the follow. Dork, thank you for the follow. I'm sorry I missed you. Appreciate you, though. Now's a great time to shout out book suggestion channel on your Discord. Oh, yeah, there is a couple of different things on the Discord for audiobook releases, for things to narrate, that kind of thing. Yeah, oh my god, the leg on the bucket. Okay, like, one of the descriptions was X character put her leg on a random bucket. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. This bucket was nowhere in the description. Had nothing to fucking do with anything. Nothing. Nothing to do with anything. And it literally said the word random. Phrase, random bucket. And I was like, where the fuck did this bucket come from, dude? What do you mean that there was a, like, you like as if in passing? You know what? Okay, you know what? Here's the, it read like two people doing a role play, going back and forth and responding to each other. And that particular line was almost like the person responding really quick because they forgot was like, oh, her leg's in the air. Oh my god. How's her leg gonna be in the air? Random bucket. Send. Did you type that with one hand? What do you fucking mean? Yes! Magical conjuration! Shit you're only gonna see in fucking D&D. I just... Ah! That's how it felt. That is how I felt. Holding on for dear life. I don't know. That's the problem. Is like, there have been multiple instances where I immediately believe that there's a high probability of AI use. I really, honest to God, do, Zart. I do. Like, deep in my fucking lizard brain, it's just going, this is AI. Like, You can't tell me it's not, but I can't fucking do anything about it because I can't prove it. I can't just be like, well, you're using AI, because that's not how it works. On the other hand, it's like if you try to run shit through an AI checker, half the time some of the AI checkers just flag shit anyway, whether it is or it isn't anyhow. I'm never gonna fucking know. I'm never gonna know. And I can't prove it, so I'm like, fuck, I have to do the job because I'm contracted, and it's a third-party situation, so like, what the fuck, what do I do? They're not using me for AI because I have a writer. My shit's good. I'm on lock. But like, where the fuck is your editor, dude? Where is the proofreader? Exactly, demonically, where the fuck is the proofreader? What are we doing? Did no one edit this? Did you write this with one hand while you were fucking like, what? Her leg is a bucket seat. The stream title is so... I just threw that in. And like, oh God, I don't know. Summon the bucket of sheer convenience. See, if we were playing D&D, that would be fucking hilarious. But this was a legitimately... It was meant to be that way. This was supposed to be taken with intention. I want to know if I can find that book. Would you guys be mad if I, like, walked away for 2 seconds to like, do a quick scan? The editor was Tommy Wiseau. Shut up! Okay, I'm gonna look. Give me, like, 2 seconds. I want to know. Okay, listen. So I couldn't find my copy of Choke, which is weird, but it's probably out there somewhere. But I did find Haunted. All right, to the point. I found Haunted. His balls breathily rolled down my face. Do I understand why that happened? No. No, I've got no clue. Currently, I'm still trying to figure out what happened. I've got no fucking idea why that happened. I'm mad about it because now I have to stream from fucking back here because the cord goes across my fucking desk. But that's fine. I guess. You bastard. You absolute cocksucker. What I was saying before I was rudely fucking interrupted, I guess. Are we gonna work now? Did we pull our head out of our ass? Is that how this is gonna go? You've gotta be, you piece of shit. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find your family. I'm gonna find your family's family. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking find them all. I'm gonna find them all. All right, crisis averted. I figured it out. Here's the deal. Thank you for the follows. All right, usually I'm streaming shit. Okay, understand. We were supposed to do indie horror today. That clearly didn't happen because I got derailed talking about also Scudder, Bomber, and Dre. Thank you for the follows. All right, yes, the fucking peak ass fucking tech ghost came back. Banana bread at fucking work today, bro. Hell yeah. So I couldn't find Choke, which is fine. But I could find Haunted. All right, I was talking about Poloniac. So here's the deal, okay? Because that happens, and that's fine. That was like erotic horror, all right? Poloniac, though, will write shit that's like fucking... Hold on. Okay, actually, this is fair. I have a migraine headache, Miss America says, and she wipes her wet fingers on her shawl. Lifting handfuls of her skirt, she topples forward out of her chair. She pulls her shawl up higher around her scratched neck. On her feet, Miss America starts toward the stairs, saying, I'm going to my room. The leather seat of her chair is dark, wet, with water, not blood. As Miss America disappears, dropping lower and lower as she steps down the stairs, only then does Director Denial move. As soon as Miss America is out of sight, Director Denial starts after her. And the rest of us watch, and write this down. The way the director's hands each fold a fistful of her uniform, a Clara Barton long skirt and bib apron with a red cross on the chest and a folded nurse cap pinned to the top of her wig. Her fingers grip the skirt so tight they look blue. The way her chin tucks to her chest so her eyes roll up to see out from under the shelf of her brow. Her mouth is shut so tight the muscle at each corner of her jaw is balled up. Big. Without a sound, louder than our pens on paper, Director Denial starts off after Miss America. The rest of us sit, waiting for the scream. Something grisly needs to happen. Something ghoulish needs to happen. The mythology of us, only with the royalty split one less way. This shit is grit. Okay? This is gritty fucking writing. And it's always been that way. Majority of his shit is very much that way. And that is fucking fine. Because it works with what he's doing. Right? Anything related to most of this has a flow of like that choppy just grit. And I'm good with it. This was not that! Thank you, Chuck Poloniak, for being my example. She sweatily wriggled over his breathily form. Haunted had the thing with the carrot. Yeah, that was so... Haunted was the only one I could find. I don't know where my copy of Lullaby or Choke is, but anyway, Haunted is there. So, hello. Oh, it may not be. I always thought it was Poloniak. I don't actually know how it's pronounced. I'm an asshole if that's not the right way to pronounce it. I sure feel like being like I'm being haunted after reading this book. Even fucking House of Leaves, right? House of Leaves is a very stylistic, eclectic, fucking crazy book, but it's meant to make you feel crazy because it itself is crazy, right? Like there's just like the way that they formulated the style with the way that the text will run and make the boxes and like various things. House of Leaves is very, very mindfuck, right? And it's intended to be because it's I would almost argue that House of Leaves is an unreliable narrator story. I love it though. It's yes, disorienting. Perfect description. So like I don't mind shit like that. I can do that if it's fucking well written, and this is just not that 9 times out of 10, and I feel like I'm losing motherfucking brain cells, by reading shit like she breasted boobily as he breathily watched her. Like, so were you right that was the worst book that you've done? I think you said this is the worst time. It's no. So yes, yeah. Honestly, I would deal with the guy that was looking for the clitoris in my knee before I ever. It was bad. It was bad. The trigger warnings, I was like, all right, like this is very clearly horror. Like it's gonna be, you know, oh man, shocking, whatever, right? But so there was a scene. Oh god, I can't get into it. There's a scene where something horrific is supposed to happen. And they have established the victim. They have established the killers. And I'm like, great, whatever. In the most, like, fucking, like, I don't even have, it's as if a 15-year-old in a 30 or 40-year-old person's body that, like, lived their best life on fucking Wattpad or Quizilla apparated out of the ether to come back to write this story, but then just do it for their own, like, I'm gonna write me and my friends into what is the equivalent of a fan fiction, as if we're, like, hot psycho killers that fuck each other all the time, but then, like, I'm gonna tell it from the other person's perspective, from, like, the perspective of this girl I hated in high school. That's what it fucking felt like, dude. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, Bubsy doesn't know that story. I never forget about Knee Guy. I never forget. I unfortunately don't have the option to not necessarily not associate to some degree with the Knee Guy. Just know that he is of a status where he definitely should know better. Quizilla? Oh, I'm not naming the book. It's just... I'm speaking generally, but I'm also having a shit fit about a recent book that I just can't. I'm glad you enjoy. Thanks, I appreciate that. Phineas Poe by W.C. Bayer. Oh. No, not the bee's knees. Wrong knees, different bees, not the same. Maybe you won't, because I've got like 15 promos coming out, Ray. They're never gonna know. You're never gonna know which book it is. And that's just fine by me. Let me rephrase. I strive. I strive to do the best job that I possibly can on every job that I do. On occasion, I get a project that I find enjoyable. On occasion, I get a project that I do not find enjoyable. But the point is to hype it up and to do my best, right? Like, I want anything that I do to always be fantastic and, like, showcase what I'm capable of, even if maybe the script is not the best. And we've seen this in media where you take a fantastic, not that I'm saying, like, I'm the shit, but, like, you take a fantastic actor, for example, right? And you hand them a shit script. That actor's gonna do everything in their possible fucking vicinity and imagination and capability and talent to do the best thing that they possibly can in every way, shape, or form, right? Like, they're gonna try to rock that shit. My job at any given point in time is to do a good fucking job no matter what I'm handed. If it is like the worst possible shit ever to have been written or script written or whatever on God's green earth, and everybody knows it's bad, I'm still going to do my best to make it sound or be visually good. Best I can. Somehow Palpatine has returned. So no, it's just, oh god, it's just one of those things, man. I don't know. You're like a defense lawyer for mobsters. Kind of. You don't want to do the job. You don't want to do the job, but you're going to do the job anyway because, like, they pay. I like money. Tom Rockford, thank you for the follow. Oh, wow. Where did you guys come from? Shadanthi, Hispanic Fury, always. Obumbration? And Murray Greening. Also, thank you guys for the follows. I just saw you. I apologize. Yeah, somebody's got to do it. But, again, I never want... To be clear, I go into this. I like what I do. I don't want to just sit and slam and shit talk. But I just it was tough. This one was tough. Wait, what? He slowly presses into her back, gently drawing his hand up her front into her neck. He grips her neck firmly. He growls as he growls in her ear, the sound rumbling down her back. You did not use the... But even that, using the word back multiple times, using the word neck multiple times, trying to add descriptors in the middle of the sentence, even shit like that is something that I would rather try to find a way to navigate to sound good, right? That's my job. My job is not to be your editor. I'm not there to rewrite your fucking book, especially if it was bad. I'm not there to rewrite your script for your film or your show or whatever. Like, that's not my job. I am there to act. And I'm going to do the best that I can. And if there's a suggestion or if there's something I can change in an element where I'm like, what if we tried this? Like, I'm going to do it the way you asked me to because that's my job. And I'm going to make it sound the best way that I can. But if there's an opportunity for me to be like, hey, you know, can I try something? And they're open to that. And sometimes creative directors are, or like, you know, people who are the owners of the IP. Like, sometimes they're down for that. They're cool. Then they'll let me do my thing. The way that, okay, the Chucky documentary, Doc of Chucky. Okay. So when I went in to narrate Doc of Chucky, and one, huge fucking opportunity to get to narrate for a huge horror franchise of that magnitude and get to do, you know, kind of like the history retelling of this, you know, horror icon like Chucky. Huge fucking deal for me, right? Especially as a horror person. So that was huge for me. That was banger, right? The issue was that the way that the industry works is I got together to do live recording with the writer who, you know, was working with everything. And like, him and I talked about it. And the initial way that the studio wants things done and the way that they expect things to be done a lot of the time is going to be in a very like, here's this information I'm reading off this page. This is this event that occurred in 1996. That was amazing time for them. Like, it's really basic. And we had a discussion, and I told him, I was like, hey, so, you know, let's run at it a couple of times. I said, you know, we'll do the way that, you know, that they expect, right? Very just da. And I said, but if it's okay with you, obviously, you know, there's kind of because he's like, I don't want it to sound boring. I don't want it to sound like that. He's like, but I still have to kind of adhere to what they're wanting. And I'm like, I get that. What if we just kind of meld it a little? I was like, worst case, what? They come back and they say, we don't like that take. Like, it's too campy. And I was like, so we'll do it with kind of more of like a serious campy. And he's like, I don't know how that's going to work, but you know what? I trust you. Let's do it. And we did. And ultimately there was a couple of takes for that, you know, were because he wanted the jokes to land. Because mind you, there's a difference between doing something a little more serious, right? Chucky is a very like in your face, like smart ass, fucking just dick-headed type slasher. And so he wanted the jokes to flow with that same, you know, that same vibe and to have like those jokes really be punchy. So we had to find a way to concoct it to make the editors on the industry side happy, but still be something where he didn't have to listen to it and be like, oh, fuck, like you can't grab the joke because the joke is lost in the seriousness of what they wanted. Exactly. Like Chucky's very jokey, sarcastic, right? So, and there is a bit of a camp. So the point, was that we wanted to land bits of that campiness into the flow of the information and make it good. And I like to think, like, are there pieces of it that I definitely wish I would have done better? Like, yeah, of course, there's always going to be. I'm very self-critical. But it worked. And that was because of a collaborative effort where I wasn't afraid to be like, let's figure this out. Like, let's do this together. We have expectations from a studio head that basically said, like, this is what we want. You have your expectations for the way that you hear things because you want it to be better and to match the vibe. I'm here to do my job and do the best way I know. Let's fucking do this. And we did. But to the point, right, is that there's nothing stopping you from taking material that is expected to be one way and finding a way to guide and flow through it and make it something amazing. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. I just think that a lot of people oftentimes get a little like, I don't, because they don't want to step on toes, but it's not about stepping on toes. It's about how you approach it. And in this case, I know that I'm bitching a lot, but it's like, fuck, man, I can't. The vibe that it seems like you were trying to land on was slightly sarcastic true crime TV show narrator. Because that was really the only way that we could manage. That was really the only way we could manage to get them to say yes, but still have the campiness. So, it's good. Where could someone find? It's on Shudder, I believe. It should be. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's rentable. I think it might be on YouTube because YouTube and Shudder partnered up, but it is, I believe, that. Let me look. So it looks like it's mostly like Amazon and Shudder, AMC Plus, yeah. Here, I think I can link it. Yeah, here you go. Here, I'm gonna link it. Hold on. There you go. So that should give you some ways to watch it. But, I think because it runs through Shudder and, like, AMC and things like that. We got nominated for, a Fangoria Award. We didn't win, obviously. Fucking George Romero's documentary won it, but, we did get nominated, which was really cool, so I was here for that. The book you read was, like, to a point of no return. I don't know that you could have added... What you could have added that could have saved it. Nothing. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Sometimes the script or sometimes the book is literally just so fucking bad that the only thing that you can do as an actor or as a narrator or as anything else is to just fucking try. Like, put on your boots, pull them up, and go, yeah, I thought so. I appreciate that. The Mortuary Assistant is on Shudder sometime next week. Yes, it is, actually. But more of a difficult question that I've had for a while. A great place to ask. I'm not a writer. I'm not a reader either. I've read like 2 books my whole life. I got a friend who is a writer. She wants to write her own published book. Is there a good way that I can incentivize her and, in a way, best motivate her to write it? I don't know how writers' brains work. Should I grip her by the collar of her shirt and shake her and go, write your damn book? I mean, the problem is that there are some people, depending on their personalities, where you're going to, like, grab them and shake them and be like, write the fucking thing! And it's not going to work. In fact, they're going to do the opposite of that. And they're going to be like, and then they're just going to shut down. And they're not going to want to touch it again. Very demand avoidance. Yeah, see, Ray just said it. Very demand avoidance. Setting micro goals may be something that'll work for your friend. Basically being like, hey, man, like, I'd really love to read, your book. Like, I know you're trying and you're working on it when you can. But, like, I'm super excited for it, And is there anything, like... have you written anything recently or like that kind of thing? And then when they're like, give them the incentive, I guess, to make them feel like they came up with the idea. I know that sounds really gaslighty. I'm not trying to be that guy. This is a positive gaslight. This is a positive gaslight. I'm Hannibaling you right now. So like, sometimes I think it's more so gas up, not gaslight. We're here to gas up. You're going to gas up your friend. As they say, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Yeah, but Shadanthi just said it in a really, really well put way. You can't force it. And that's very true. Sometimes you just get fucking inspired and that happens. I think Natty's friend, I think the big thing that you can do is to kind of have that key excitement, but also like, you know, try to let them come into it with you. Because again, sometimes it just fucking sucks. Evandrel, thank you so much. 34 fucking months, dude. 8-month streak. I appreciate you. Flexes. I'm a little today, but I got you. But I think even having the friend support is like this endless fucking array of awesome shit where you need that extra support. Like, you need that good shit, you know? Just put the good shit right in. Fucking absorb it. Coda, thank you for the follow. But yeah, I mean, if your friend's having trouble writing it, maybe they're stuck, you know? Try to, if they're open to it, have that communication open. See if there's anything that maybe you could do to help them through it. If it's a matter of them just not fucking doing it, I mean, it could be, yeah, Shadanthi said it, a higher stress situation could make it harder, you know? Yeah, asking, don't nag them, you know? Obviously, I feel like that doesn't need to be said, but don't nag them. But I don't see why letting them know that they have support available, that, like, you are there, that you are willing, you know, to have that helps. I'm essentially kind of nudging them along, like putting a bit of pressure on them. So they're kind of in my friend wants to read my book, I should write for them headspace. That's good. That's a great fucking way to go about it. Brown Recluse, thank you for the follow. Give them head. Head fixes everything. I can't believe Palm hasn't fucking seen Hannibal. My own daughter. How dare. I finished and then published my first book on the back of friend support, a circle of folks asking and what's next. Nice, Scudder, congratulations. That's fucking awesome, dude. But that's exactly to the point, right? Scudder just said it. Like, sometimes there are people that you can't get your fucking head in it, you know? And you need that little buffer. Ellis right now, I'm fucking desperate because Ellis is a good writer. And him and I have written, you know, co-fan fictions and, like, role plays and shit, like, since fucking high school. But, you know, we've had shit. And I know he's capable. And I'm happy to go through and, like, change and shift things and edit stuff and, like, co-write to a degree. But just like with that, especially after this latest one, where I was just I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore, bro. I can't fucking do this anymore. I've told Ellis and tried to egg Ellis on to be like, dude, like, even if it's just a couple pages a day or, like, every so often or, like, X amount per week or something, like, set that fucking goal, you know? Evangel, thank you for resubscribing at a tier 3. 34 fucking months. But yeah, I think sometimes having that support and that, you know, that good shit really does help a lot. I'm telling you, I'll pay you guys for you to write. I know it's a time thing. It is, but that's also kind of the point. Yeah, well, and Ellis is. His scripts are good, you know, and even just the general writing pieces. Like, obviously the scripts are being told from a for you perspective and being told in the character element, but, you know, same thing. Setting the goal low will get you started. Absolutely. Fuck, man. Even, so, and that's the nice thing, because if you set your shit for, like, a page, right, you're like, all right, I'm gonna set an hour of writing time, like, every 2 days. And, like, if it doesn't happen, then I'm gonna shift it the day, right? So, a page is a fucking page. It all shifts. One page can eventually lead to 10 pages. Or, you know, you get lucky one night and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm in it. And you're just flowing. Like, it is easy and it feels like breathing and everything is just in the flow of it. You're doing it breathily as you breasted boobily. Everything is great. And, like, that's fantastic. That's a good vibe. And suddenly, before you even know it, you've finished 30 pages in one evening, right? So then if the next day comes and you just have massive writer's block and you fucking crash, ride on the high of, like, no, I accomplished 30 pages. It is okay if I take this time to recuperate and bring myself back to center to do this again, you know? It's part of why I like getting readings from Ellis, so I get more of his writing. Yeah. George Carlin had, like, stacks of notebooks that he breathily wrote. You feel like cocaine-era Stephen King. Oh my god! But it's not a lie, dog! Like, cocaine-era Stephen King is the description for that feeling. Autumn with a Resident Evil game. 5 hours later, I'm gonna get off. 3 hours after that, okay, goodbye. An hour after that, stream ended. Okay, but I was locked in. I was in my moment. Ellis Hightower in Devil's May Scree. That sounds like a bad corn. I did Inktober back in like 2004 or some shit, and I'm still right in that eye. But that's the thing, is those wins, those fucking little wins. And that's why I try to tell people about working out and shit too. Like, it does not matter if you're talking about art or writing or reading or anything else, you know, or working out or fucking cooking. Like, little micro wins, you know, is the shit, dude. Mind if I share some advice a writer I love, Mercedes Lackey, gave about writing? Sure. I mean, there's no reason for you not to. It's topic. Taika Waititi apparently writes the script, puts it away for a year, rewrites it, and whatever gets cut out gets cut out. Ellis breathily launched the Ford Ranger. You fucking suck, dude. Microdosing whimsy. I love it. I'm gonna make a pair of shorts. That say microdosing whimsy, and I'm gonna put it on my ass on those shorts. Perfect. I don't so much write as much as I have my own series that I keep in my head with 3 protagonists that have adventures that I daydream about. I think that's lovely. I think that stuff like that, even if you're not a writer, and that shit just fucking keeps you locked in, use that. I think that's fantastic. Tool Shop, thank you for the follow. One that helps me is also setting down the project when it's not working and starting a new one. I've got 6 books in the work at the moment, and suddenly the idea you've been waiting for hits. You don't have to stop just because the block hits. Yes, that's fair. Sometimes you just need the moment to flow, you know? Like, it happens. Or you'll be working on one book, and all of a sudden you're like, this doesn't fit for this. Oh, holy shit! And so you go back to the other book. And, like, yeah, you're interrupting the process, but, like, that's your moment, you know? And then you fucking move in and you write the scene for that, and you're like, holy shit, it flows. This is great, right? So Evangel says she'd said that writer's block for her is when she's trying to force the plot into something wrong, and the way around it is to go back to where it was flowing and see what changed. Great. I love that. I think that's amazing. I think that's very much, it's like the corkboard from Alan Wake 2. Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. Exactly. But Evangel, the writer that Evangel's talking about, has a really good point. You know, you hit the flow of things and the way that things work, and like, you need that. You need to have those moments for yourself, because that's what allows you to keep going. And if you break that momentum with something and you're like, fuck, I'm just stuck, go back to where the flow was coming from. Like, it's like a river that's been dammed, right? So you're looking at a river, and this river is flowing and it's beautiful, and like, you are in the moment, you're watching the river run, and all of a sudden as you're walking, you get to a point where the river just stops, right? There's no more water flow. You can see where the river needs to go, but it's stopped and it's blocked, and you're like, okay. And then you see a dam, and you're like, well, the river can't run this way anymore. Because you don't want to interrupt the beavers, right? You don't want to fuck up the beavers' process. They've got their own thing going on, man. So, like, I don't want to fuck with the beavers. So, yo, let's go! Train! Thank you. But, you know, you don't want to fuck with the beavers' process. So, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to the flow point and be like, all right, is it flowing somewhere else? You know, because I know the river was flowing a second ago, but then it started to go stagnant. So then you move and you find a different path that the river needs to flow. And sometimes a river forks, and you just didn't notice the fork before because you were busy chasing the initial path until you hit the beaver dam, right? So I think that's really, really important, and I think that's a really good point. She's published a series ton of work as well. She's a bird rehabber. Oh, that's lovely. I love that. That's cute. Kiss my whimsical ass. Want to get whimsical up in here. I am taking my whimsical ass out of here. He breathily flowed into me. He breathily beavered. That word's never gonna fucking leave me. Thank you. To be honest, if I did write, it might have to have a big blaring trigger warning. That's fine. Wouldn't be the first time. This book had like 26 fucking triggers. The one that I just did, so it's fine. I did want to read, what made you want so many tattoos? I'm old as fuck. Back in my time, people would have that many tattoos only if they did 30 plus years. No judging or disrespect. Just curious, since you did not spend jail time, I hope. I like to tell stories, and sometimes I think that, and I have a really bad memory. And I think that sometimes having pictures and art, told within a manner of ink and blood is important to me. And I think that that is my way of expression. And I also think that there is a part of me that is young and hurt and remembers the things that very gross, very evil, very I was 15 and they shouldn't have said the things to me men in my life said. And it was my way of continuing to express myself and be me and be this beautiful thing in the way that I saw was beautiful, without having a grown-ass man at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old tell me that I was beautiful and other weird, gross, nasty stuff. And that the ink didn't change that, which is much funnier because now the same people that used to tell me those things when I was a child won't speak to me, and I love it. I love that. But I like to storytell, and I didn't need to do time. I can't do time. I can never go to prison. I will not make it out. I will be in solitary all the time. So, yeah, kind of like with everything. You can only take the doors that open for you. Exactly. Douglas Adams quote, parts of his writing process. I tell myself I can't have another cup of coffee until I come up with an idea. I'd be miserable. I would be so fucking miserable if I couldn't have coffee until I came up with an idea. I'd be so panicked. I would just start throwing shit at the wall until it stuck just so I could get some fucking coffee. What do you mean? You would look good in an orange jumpsuit. You say that now. But thank you. I appreciate that. That's a good quote, though. Soon the summary and table of contents are just straight trigger warnings. And now I have a headache and writer's block. No! It's time to walk away and go center your shit. The tiger stripe tattoos on your neck are sick as fuck, though. Thanks. Man, I don't think I could get away with a good, solid Kill Bill costume. And if I would like to, I think it'd be fun to do the bride. Maybe one day. I'm not quite that badass. Yeah. What does beavered mean? Oh, it's a joke. Just don't worry about it. I would highly recommend the book Becoming a Writer, Staying a Writer by J. Michael Straczynski. It's a really good book that doesn't try to give you advice on how to write, but why to write. And honestly, it's a big thing I'm trying to get back into. I need to reread it. If that helps you, I think that's important. Resident Evil. What about it? If I told myself that I can't do X until I think of a new idea, the only thing I could think about is X and nothing else. Yes. No, okay, no, I mean, let me rephrase. I mean in a training sense. I did not go and train with, like, monk level fucking lock-in. So, I just mean badass in the sense of, like, I'm not trained in that capacity. Honestly, question I've had for a year now. How many tattoos do you have? You don't have to show them off. I'm interested in the number. Fuck. Over 60, I think. I think over 60. I haven't counted them in a long time. I have no idea now. I think there's over 60. Because the problem is some of them are, like, group tattoos where there's, like, multiple things within the one tattoo. So, like, that's really hard to say. Aren't you learning to fight? I am, but I feel like the training is a little different. The character in Village? Which one? You'd kill it in that costume What's-Her-Face was wearing. The chick that was Oren's secretary or whatever, who eventually got her arms and legs chopped off that suit. The suit was nice. I've been complimented with "that's sick" for my tattoo a few times, and I was like, thanks, but then they say no literally, and I'm reminded my tattoo's a biohazard. I mean, true. My book doesn't have a table of contents. It has a tasting menu, which is a list of potential triggers for each short story. I like that. Many in the sexy horror genre actually look for their favorite. So, you know what? I like that you targeted it as, like, AO3, where you're like, here's your tags, but you did it in a sense of, like, as if it's a kink tasting. I fucking love that, because sometimes there are people who'd be like, I didn't think I was into that, and then they read the story and they're like, maybe I'm into that. I like it. I like that approach. I think that's fucking amazing. I like that vibe. One day you'll say it, so I'll remember the number for you. One day. Being a badass can mean a whole lot of different things. I've known some people in my life who are pacifists, but I agree. It will never make sense to me that your tattoos limit your opportunities. It fucking doesn't make sense to me either. But it does. Very much so. But it is what it is. There's a lot of things that I do in my life that unfortunately limit some of my opportunities for really stupid reasons, but, you know. I have so many ideas for stories, but trying to focus on them takes time. Yeah, that can be a big thing. It can be exhausting. I don't have any tattoos, but the first one I get would probably be the date I got my official ADHD diagnosis or something. Whatever's important to you. A smut moulier. I like it. Yeah, man, like, if that's what's important to you, I think do the thing. I don't think there, even for people who just get like shitpost tattoos, like I just have the tattoo to have the tattoo. There's not really a reason. I just wanted it. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think that people should be shit on for that behavior either. It's not my vibe, and that's okay. I get tattoos for different reasons. Other people just, they want a dick butt on their ass, and that's totally fine, man. If you want dick butt on your ass, who am I to tell you that you cannot have it? For the most part, I'm a pacifist, but I will absolutely pass these fists. I love that. I have 25 plus. Started with the idea of golden record from Voyager. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, kind of, right? A smut moulier. I feel like that's a missing thing. Yes, sir, our vintage is CNC, and we have a crate or two of mommy issues from the 90s. Very good vintage. No one should ever be shit on for what they want to do. Absolutely. I agree. And yet, fucking here we are. I'm really bad about that, though. Like, I don't really get haughty about shit or, like, act bitchy unless someone goes out of their way to be a dick over something. Like, if I am watching you judge someone else for something that they decided to do or a decision they made or someone they love or some other shit, like, yeah, I'm gonna have a fucking beef with you. That's not how we do things here. Are they hurting you? Are they being disrespectful? Are they in your space and in your face about whatever it is that you're fucking worried about on them? If the answer is no, and even if the answer is yes, remove yourself from the fucking situation. Jesus Christ. I think I would get my first tattoo on the day I had my first breakup and start working on pursuing broadcasting as a career while I was also... Oh, that's lovely, Casey. I like that. Fair enough. Omadon throwing in a lock the fuck in keychain to the chat as a giveaway. I appreciate that, Omadon. Smut Moulier, might I suggest something from our Yowie selection tonight? I love that. Hints of praise with a faint aftertaste of... Is that roleplay? Fair enough. I like how you're just... Lots of hate symbols that crop up as tattoos, and I judge, but the tattoo prejudice. I think that if you are someone, and that's where you kind of get muddy waters, right? If you are somebody that at some point in your life were that type of person, and you do have a hate symbol tattooed on your body, but you are not that person any longer, right? There was growth. There is moments of change, but maybe like you can't afford to get it covered, or maybe there's an issue. I don't think people understand that sometimes in those situations, you know, if you go in and you have a conversation with an artist and you're like, look, I just want this shit off of me. Like, you know, you can't pay for the removal. Maybe it's too expensive. There's a lot of artists that, you know, when you have that conversation, there are some artists that will have the conversation and be like, you know what, let's figure it out, right? Like, they're willing to work with you on that. I legit want to get more tattoos that look like the panel of lining of a cyberware. That's cool. Beanie! What the fuck, dude? Again? I want to point out that these are luck of the draw. Like, I don't control this. It's completely fucking random. It auto scrolls through the join. So, like, congratulations, dude. That's fucking nuts. You are a lucky son of a bitch. Well played. Congrats, though. Also, thank you again, Omadon, for supplying the giveaway. Thank you. You sound like you could do a great Harley Quinn. So I think the closest I've done to Harley, besides like just standard Valley Girl, was Eliza Elsdragon in Fallout New California. Eliza was supposed to have kind of that very like ditzy Harley Quinn-esque voice. I'm pretty sure I could do it, though. It depends on the type of Harley Quinn, because like there's variants obviously of Harley Quinn. I couldn't just say straight up which one, but I simply saw one that was an X over a hate group and said no more. I love that. See, but they were willing to do that. I don't think I'm ever getting any tattoos, but I have no problem with other people. Exactly. And I'm cool. Exactly. Same thing. Like, if people don't want tattoos, there's no reason you should be pressured into it. You know? If you decide one day, if you wake up and you're very anti-tattoo and you wake up one day and you're like, fuck it, I want a tattoo, I implore you to think about it. Don't, like, go ham and just get a sleeve all of a sudden, you know? Like, I'm not going to tell you what to get, but at the same time, all I'm simply saying is just think about it for a little bit, you know? Like, maybe like, get a stencil, like, you know, fucking draw it, look at it for a couple days, think about it. Be sure, you know, if you just have never had one. Is this how I found out you're in a New Vegas mod? Oh, yeah. So, Fallout New California is a New Vegas mod from, like, forever and a day ago, like 15 years ago. But Fallout New California, yes, is a New Vegas mod that I did. I play a couple of characters in New Vegas. I played Eliza L's Dragon, I played Carrie Vargas, Ranger Vargas, and I played Anaya Ran. And then a couple background characters, but those are the 3 dominant characters I played. But yes, I thought about playing it on stream. I just haven't gotten around to fucking pulling New Vegas and updating it and shit. But yeah. Oh, Slade, what's up? Shout out. Of course, if you like spicy stuff, I would recommend Slade.com. Not only are they just a pleasure of a person to be around, but fun to support, and they make good shit. Still working on Suex Venom, but it's coming soon. I still need to get the goat tattoo to compliment my lamb. Yeah, there's a companion mod for New Vegas in the works that fits your humor is making rounds. I'll have to check that out. I know your supplier no longer provides the wolf head Algine bottles, but do you think... So, I was looking at potentially... I made myself bleed. I shouldn't have done that. I was looking at potentially making the water bottles myself. I need to look at how to add the vinyl. It may just be vinyl, because I don't have the sublimation thing or, like, the process of the printer. But worst case situation, I will look at doing it myself. I know that they replaced... hold on. Let me look really quick, because I know they replaced some stuff. And I think I threw the recent replacement up. No, because I was thinking about that the other day, and I was updating some things. Let me look, and I can tell you. Hold on a second. So, water bottle. So right now, they just have the Camelback water bottle, the stainless steel water bottle, so this one. This is the one that we have right now. There's, like, one with a screw-on cap. But otherwise, you can... So, they have blender bottles, also. But the blender bottles, I have to order in mass. I can't order... Just, like, I can't let you guys solo order. Those have to be requested, and it's a minimum of 150 stock. So, if that's how that's gonna be, I would... I mean, honestly, it's kind of tough, because I feel like it would be cheaper to just make it myself for you guys and figure it out, but I'm worried that from a production standpoint, it would just be shitty vinyl, and I don't want it to be, like... Also, by the way, merch is at autumnivy.com. If you haven't clipped in, or don't know, Malevola's photo set is released. It is available, and discounts are still live. All of the places to find those for subscription is at autumnivyofficial.com. There's many, many things to select, but honestly, if you are a fan that is sly, that is the best place to go. Fans that are sly, you should go there, because that's going to be the better option, and you can also do things a la carte and do not have to subscribe. But... all of the locations to find that kind of stuff is at autumnivyofficial.com. Merch is at autumnivy.com. So, but yeah, I was looking at it. So I will see, I'll see what I can do. Like, I'd like to do that. I gotta try out New Vegas again since I fell out of it. I just want to download and redo New Vegas and then have the fucking graphic upgrades and shit. Can you put up a queue or the sort where folks put up their orders and it gets placed in mass once it hits a certain number? I mean, I could do that, but, like, my fear is if I did it, I mean, I wouldn't be able to even make the order until the money is in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would almost be like a pre-order system. So I'm not sure how that would work. And if that was the case, I would just rather order the items externally and then sell them myself, you know? But yeah, so Malevola is released, by the way. Photoset, audios, videos, and more. There is a Fantasy Friday coming up this week as well. So yeah, if you like big red muscle bitches with horns, you have another one. You're welcome. I want it to fall to pieces, honestly. We do have an ad break starting in about 20 seconds. Please don't go anywhere. Or do. I don't know. I'm not your boss. Just take care of yourself if you do. Drink water. Folks order pre-orders all the time, and that does seem like a good comparison. Well, and that's what I was thinking, is I could do a pre-order slot, I guess, and do it that way. Kind of like they do, like, I know some artists do it for, like, keychains and stuff. I'm glad you were having a good time, Devrick. What do you mean you're not boss? You're not. Sometimes. I was at peace with you putting your foot down about not doing Malevola, and then you go and do it anyway, and I'm happy you did it anyway. Yeah, so I did have my foot down, but the problem is the behaviors continued, and I finally got mad, and I finally was like, you know what, fine, I'll fucking do it, because it's been requested to the point now where it was not even, it was like DMs, and I was like, fine, I'll fucking do it, I'll get it, fine, there, have it, you're good, great, we're done now. I want to warn you, though, that the bossy, shitty, like, let me comment other characters underneath the hard work that you did for this character, that stuff, no more. No more. If I don't want to do a character, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't care if it is the most popular shit you've seen since the fucking launch of bread. I don't care. I'm not doing it. If I don't have an interest in any way, shape, or form, or if it's something that is like, I'm being inundated again, and I'm like, please don't do that on my stuff. I worked hard on this costume. Let's focus on this costume. It's so goddamn disrespectful. I'm not doing that shit again. I let it go for Malevola this one time because I was like, fuck it. What's another big red bitch? Fine. So I did it. But I will tell you that I should not have to delete or remove people from my space across all socials. And I've had to a lot, where it's been comment after comment of, when are you doing whatever? Yeah, exactly. And Harrison, that's exactly why you guys will never see me do Vi. I will never fucking do Vi from Arcane for that exact reason. Because it just got excessive and disrespectful. And I don't do that. So actually, Ray brought it up, like, demand avoidance 100% got set in motion. I was not fucking with that shit. Absolutely fucking not. Isn't Ellis contractually obligated to do the bat now because you did another red character? He's been working on it. He's been working on Sonar. It just takes time. You should not be forced to do anything if you're not comfortable. It wasn't about comfort. It was more so about... This wasn't a comfort issue. It was respect for me. Like, it was very... So we talked about that. Ellis and I made a joke, and I was like, every time somebody tries to fucking, like, strong-arm me into doing a character that I don't want to do from now on, but they won't stop, like, hammering me about it, I'm gonna pick a different character from the same series that everybody fucking hates. Like, absolutely, like, the worst imaginable fuck-ass character, or, like, the least important that was just in one background episode one time, and I'm gonna do that instead. That's gonna be the reward. I'm not going to do the character you wanted, but I'm going to do this obscure, horrible character that you hated that I like. So here we go. Do the same character, but in a different color. Just palette swap. So, yeah, but Emma's a little different. So Emma became a joke, and is also not body paint, which is a little easier. So I swore I would not do Emma Frost, right? I fucking hate Emma Frost. She's a bitch. Period, end of story. The agreement... because Spike is an idiot, and I love him, Spike came back and was like, okay, I'll wear Emma Frost. And if I wear Emma Frost, you have to wear Emma Frost. And that's the deal. And I was like, he's never gonna fucking do that. He's never gonna fucking... Yeah, bullshit. I call bullshit. And he's like, okay. So Ray fucking supplies Spike with the Emma Frost cosplay. And sure as shit, a month later, I get photos of Spike in the Emma Frost cosplay. And I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, bet. So I told him, I said, I said, I'm not putting that shit on. I said, you know what? Fine. Wear it to CAD. Wear it to Creators After Dark in April in Texas. And I'll wear it. I'll wear Emma with you. We'll take pictures together. And he's like, bet. So now Emma Frost is on the way for me to wear, because the only reason and the only time I'm going to wear it is only if Spike is wearing it at the same time. So if you want Emma Frost pictures, the only time or reason that Emma Frost will be on for me to costume and cosplay is if Spike is wearing it. And I also said that somebody had to supply it. Therefore, fucking Ray, again, stepped up and was like, bet. So Ray supplied the Emma costume, and now here we are. I will never get away with that. I will never. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm also batshit crazy, but I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, so I am a guest for Creators After Dark, which is a spicy adult convention that they are hosting in Dallas, Texas. That's being put on by Shoujo Mom. That is April 4th, I think. 4th, 5th, and 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th? I don't know. It's at the beginning of April. How many hours does it take to get all the red off? Too fucking long. Over an hour. You could cosplay as Angela. Angela's armor is in the works and has been printed. I just don't have time. I don't have a lot of time to do big builds. I have to pick something and fucking do it, or it doesn't happen. Like, these fucking people that put out costumes every 2 weeks, dude, I don't know how the fuck they do it. I've got way too much shit that I have to do on any given day to put all of that together and have the energy and the capacity to continue to, like, work on certain things. But, like, I try to do what I can within reason, but between filming and making the content I've got to make in the first place, doing the audiobooks and the other production and voice work and acting work that I've got to do that's, like, ledgered, taking care of the animals and all the other shit, doing workouts and making sure that gets done, general, like, chores and life stuff that's just normal. Like, it's hard. It's hard. And God bless the people that can fucking put out costumes every 2 weeks. Like, good for you, but it is not fucking me. I can't do that shit. Is it weird that I only drink water from one specific brand, can't bear the taste of other water? I mean, not really, no. That's actually pretty normal. I feel like water bottle and water brands do taste different. It also tastes different depending on where you live. The water that we drink here is not the same as the water we drink in Arizona. Your schedule would likely kill most people. I had someone... I got a text message from Keegan. So Keegan the Creep is fucking hilarious, but is very into Nintendo and Mario and stuff. Also streams, so if you guys ever want to watch an entertaining streamer, Keegan the Creep is a good one. But Keegan sent me a text message and was like, I had made a comment about working, and he's like, I feel like every time we talk, all you ever do is work. Like, I feel like working is all you ever do. And he's like, and I don't like that. I don't think that's good for you. And I was like, oh, it's not? Okay, sure, I guess. Rad, thanks for the follow. Also, Redneck Atheist, thank you for the follow. And Katreyu, you as well. I'm sorry I missed that. Ellis told me, he said, you know Ray's gonna get it if you put it on Throne. Spawn would be sick. So I would love that, but I promised the only red character, by the way, for body paint purposes that I plan on doing in the future at this point is fucking Hellboy. So, it's north of you. Bet. Cosplaying characters from games, but you can only cosplay characters from games you've 100%ed is the real collectionist challenge. For fucking real. Look, 100%ing a game, I would have nothing but, like, indie horror games the whole fucking time. I don't think I would get out of it. No way. You should have faked out Malevola. So, I'm not even fucking kidding. When all of this came to pass and I finally got pissed off, the day that I decided to finally do Malevola, I turned to Ellis and I was like, here's what we're gonna do, because I was pissed. I was like, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do Malevola, right? I'm gonna tease the red body paint, maybe a little bit of the horn and shit, right? I was like, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make everybody think that fucking Malevola is gonna drop, and, like, I'm gonna convince everybody that that's the case, and I'm gonna do Malevola, right? I said, but then I'm gonna reveal it, and it's just gonna be fucking Hellboy. And he starts laughing, and he's like, you're an asshole, you should do it. And I was like, fuck, and then I didn't. You revisiting Mama K is also a whenever you want kind of thing. The probability that I will go back to Karlach anytime soon after having done her contractually and also personally for like 2.5 years is minimal. You probably will not see Karlach for a very long time, if ever, in the future. I have half a mind to sell that costume. just do one pick as Malevolent and then just cut off the horns. Yeah, fair enough. It's healthy when I spend all my time working since I don't have friends who rely on me. I don't know. I have friends who rely on me and I still work all the time. I don't know. I thought about it. I really fucking did. I couldn't bear, because I knew that there would be people who would get fucking bitchy if I did that and then be like, well, you baited us and blah, 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 blah. And like, I didn't want to fucking deal with that. I don't want to hear it. I don't give a fuck. I literally just wanted to have my peace, and I knew that if I went ahead and did it, that a lot of people would be like, that'd be sick as fuck, it would have been funny, blah, 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 like, and people would have enjoyed it, but then that small group of motherfuckers that would have been, like, bitter-ass sour, like, Sour Patch-ass kids coming out, nah, because I don't think that I have the capacity anymore to be able to handle that kind of attitude. I would have been a bitch, and I don't like doing that. I want to be supportive, I want to be motivating, I want to continue to be that person, but, like, it's wearing. It is fucking draining having to deal with the level of, like, just, like, stupid bastard behavior. That's it. Like, it's ugly bastards? No, stupid bastards. This is stupid bastard behavior. I was expecting you to just do every random character from Dispatch with each request from Malevolent, even doing Whiskey Cat before you did it. I really heavily considered it, because the next one on the list was about to be fucking Phenomenon. No joke. I was a hair's breadth. I didn't want to have to fucking deal with the upper part of that suit. It was driving me nuts. Yeah. How busy is CAD looking for you? I mean, I'm at a booth most of the time. I have a couple of things I think scheduled. I am supposed to do the Baddies on the Block showcase, which is like the big performance. And then I think I'm at one of the lounge. I'm supposed to do the lounge. I'd love to see your take on Golem. It's just gonna be me laying in the mud. That's it. That's Golem. Use the mustache or no deal. Fair. The bulge and the mustache for Phenomenon are non-negotiable. Those are a requirement. Where are you from? I want to know what you taste like. Does that work? Does that I want to know, like, genuinely, does that work for you? Is that a pickup that works? Sirius, thank you for the follow. Sometimes I see comments and I'm just so in awe that you're able to be as nice as you are to people. I would never be able to not be mean. I taste like long pig. I'm supposed to do the lounge. The whole lounge. Jesus, no. 22 shots of Everclear is too much, or there's a ninja iguana singing Amore behind you. Oof. I'm from Louisiana, so seasoning and blood. You know? That's a vibe. Fair enough, Nascent. Oh, it's on Kick, which is unsurprising. Thanks, Devrick. A little bit, man. Yeah. As cosplayers, sometimes we spend so much time being others, we forget to cosplay as ourselves. Well, I think that's an interesting thing, right? We went on our tirade about writing and all the other shit earlier, but I think a lot of the time that you see a big bubble burst of neurodivergence in neurodivergent diagnosis, and even just in general neurodivergence in costumers and cosplayers and like comic community, right, is because we spend so much of our time masking and being in that societal expectation where we're trying to deduce what is okay, what is not, and so on and so forth, that being someone else is what's comfortable. I realized, and I didn't know this about myself until we tried to go to a normal convention, not as a guest, not as anything else. Like, we went to an oddities convention, and I thought, like, I was like, oh, it's a convention, I'll be fine, whatever. I fucking froze. I was no longer a person. I was like removed and I started shutting down. I apparently, unless I am in costume or as a character or like cosplaying myself, I can't fucking do conventions. I can't do the large crowds and the shit. Like, I either need to be like masking literally as, you know, or something like that. I can't fucking hang. And I didn't know that about myself until recently. And it's a very strange position to be in as an adult. Like, I need to either be, yeah, Ray just said it. I either need to be working the convention or I need to be in a costume. Like, there's no in between. I can't just be myself and roaming around a convention because I shut the fuck down. And it's weird and almost feels, and this is like me working through that, but it almost feels childish, like a slap on the wrist where you're like, you shouldn't be that like, you shouldn't be like that. You can handle it. You're an adult, you know? And it's like, no, I'm not though. Like, I am an adult, yes, but my brain is not in that position. It's okay that it's not. So normalizing being okay with it was also a really huge thing that I kind of had to start to like build up and start to feel better about. And it's very strange. Overwhelm is real. I can imagine that was tough. Perfect. Yeah. Baddie's thing in the tea house, but I think Palm said you're helping. Yes, and I will be helping Palm with her panel as well. I also have I forgot. So I do have a panel at Creators After Dark. They have to complete it, I think, and confirm it. But I will be doing a voice acting panel on Sunday. So for those of you that will be joining us at Creators After Dark, I do have another panel that is going to be Sunday afternoon. So I will be doing a voice acting panel. I think it was like how to make sexy mouth noises or something. Maybe we'll stream the panel. I'll see if we can figure out a way to stream it, Valkian. Worst case, I'll stream it to Discord or something. There's a lot of power in taking on another character that can handle what we struggle with. There's nothing wrong with wearing that, like, armor when you need to. I agree. Omadon, giving away an always that bitch sticker to the chat. No, and Shadanthi has a point on that. I think what's interesting for me, that's why I like acting so much, is it just kind of gives you that difference. I basically act like I'm just an observer outside of the environment. Oh, like the disconnect. Yeah. I think that's why I like mask characters so much. I also think it's interesting from a psychology perspective that, yeah, exactly. Like, and I'm in danger. Yeah. Even with anonymity. Yeah. I think for me, it's interesting to see the types of characters, like comfort characters especially. So like maybe you don't cosplay, but you have comfort characters, right? So it's interesting to see people's comfort characters because I think they say a lot about a person. It's just like, yo, Harrison, congratulations, you have won the sticker for the Always That Bitch sticker. I think it's really interesting to see and kind of perceive or understand the psychology behind the reason that people will pick certain comfort characters or want to cosplay certain characters. I think it says a lot about the person, whether you realize it or not, like you as in the person who enjoys these things. And there's some people I feel like would argue and be like, well, no, it's just because I like them. But I'm like, no. From a psychological standpoint, why? Like, what is the breakdown? I want to understand. I'll be 100% honest. I've more than once channeled a character from one of my books who's better in situations than I was. Sometimes I fall into their behavior. And that's okay. So that's also an interesting... so IFS is a type of therapy, which is internal family systems. And I have a firm belief that people with inner world systems like that, like even if you don't realize it, are practicing a form of internal family system therapy without even realizing it by having that personification of a character. So it's interesting that you say that because it makes sense and it's not weird. It's not, sometimes that it's like putting on like wearing a comfortable blanket or slipping on comfortable clothes, like that's just, them, because they are you in a sense. So it's just interesting. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. I don't know. Frankie from Knights of Guinevere is already a comfort character. She looks a ton like, so that helps. That's good. You recognizing yourself in the avatar of the character and projecting a desire or mirroring. Yeah, exactly, Waymer. That's a really good way of putting it. It's just, I don't know. And I could be wrong about that. I'm obviously, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but it's just, Bafo! How are we? You feel the sense of being afraid to be perceived in a public space when you go to conventions as yourself. I think it's not so much like I don't want to be perceived. I think it's the anxiety of like, I could be comfortable at home and in my own space and in the quiet. This is too loud. This is too much. I get very overstimulated very quickly. And so having to kind of deal with that in a public space is just a lot. Like going to a reptile expo, for example, right? Like I've been to reptile expos and things. I can tolerate it for, like, if I know going in, I'm like, oh, the animals. Because there's animals around, it's a little easier for me to navigate. Because, again, I can interact with something that's not a person, right? So that's a little easier. But even then, like, we've had to leave reptile expos, you know, a couple of hours in because I'm done. Like, I hit my limit. And I can usually tell because I'll start... which it took me a really long time to realize I did this, and it was nice because it's my own mental tell because I'll do it without thinking about it, and Ellis also has picked up on it, but I'll start to wring my hands, or like hold my hands and kind of like, you know, so, and that was something I didn't realize that I had started doing until I kind of went back to compartmentalizing actions and trying to figure out things, you know. With some of my comfort characters, I need to do some soul searching about why they are, because I can get some crazy interpretations. Real. Me too. If I saw her in real life, I'd be shitting myself. She's gonna throw me like the Hulk. I personally only want to be perceived by people I know. Yeah, that's fair. Concerts are easier. But concerts, like, I think the music helps. The energy of a concert is a little different because, again, you're there for the music, you know? And even then, I've gotten to a point now where I like seated concerts, or I like concerts where I can get a table so I can, like, separate myself. Like, I will only go up to, you know, the general fucking area if I am vibing, and then even then I can leave. I have the access, you know? How do you get through cons? Can you compartmentalize it? Because I'm not myself. Conventions, like comic conventions or conventions I'm working where I'm a guest or something, that's different. I have a task, right? So I'm either compartmentalizing it by a task or I'm in character. I like to character act sometimes, or like I'll be in the character in the costume, but I don't have to be myself, so I can interact and I can react, but it's not the same. Yeah, I rub my rings. Yeah, I'll sit here and do. That's why I have a lot of like calluses on my palms and stuff. Is I'll sit there and I'll click my rings. Yeah, having a place to do that is helpful. You inadvertently threw someone at me who's both been keeping me sane and being a hilarious pain in my ass. I'm glad I could assist. It's my unintentional job. But I'm really glad you were doing better, Bafo. You can do the classic 70s Hulk. I didn't do the 70s Hulk, but I've done She-Hulk. Yeah. You sit or you go in the pit. Yeah, you're good. I personally hope to see, despite being neurodivergent, I can become the hero like I aspire to be. You absolutely can. There's nothing stopping you. I think it's really, really important to have that and to know that, you know, the option is there. That's good, Bafo. I have massive issues with getting overwhelmed, so I often feel like I need some sort of armor between me and everything. A spiritual, which they're a witchcraft friend, but a spiritual friend, made a comment about before you go and leave the house every day, you can almost imagine like you have a cloak that forms around you, or like maybe if you don't want it to be a cloak, maybe it's like a pair of wings, you know, that cover you, or maybe it's like spines, or maybe it's an orb or something that covers you. But it's a spatial thing. Not only is it a psychological trick, but it's also, if you're spiritual or if you practice witchcraft or some form of, you know, whatever it is that you believe in, but she had a really good point about it. So sometimes even something so simple as pulling your mind in that direction, and before you leave the house, you're like, okay, I'm gonna shield myself, you know, can make you feel better, right? It's like in Big Daddy. It's like in Big Daddy when he hands him the sunglasses and he tells him that the sunglasses will make him invisible. Like, you know, you watch this as an adult and you're like, well, of course the kid's going to believe him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the point. But I think it's also important to indulge that childhood whimsy in a way when you are an adult as well, because that gives you that same... There's a magic in it, you know? Even maybe not in a literal sense, but there's a magic in it. And I think that's important to maintain. So, just like with the invisible sunglasses, except in this case, you know, you're imagining the shield around yourself so that you have that support, you have that ability to kind of be like, okay, I'm going to be fine, you know? That's also why people keep worry stones in their pockets. You know, it gives you something to, like, center yourself. You're touching something. But yeah, I mean, I hope that maybe will help a little bit, Shadanthi. Whimsy is eternal. We just get bigger and older and level up. Correct. Sense of freedom and inconsequential fun. Yeah, but I think that's kind of a really important bit to have. Is to just be able to keep those moments. So hopefully, maybe, that gives you guys a chance to, you know, just be something fun to practice in the morning. So before you leave, just take a minute to breathe and cloak yourself. See if it works. Two Steak, thank you for the follow. Originally, I was gonna plan on doing an indie horror stream, but I feel like we ran into just straight AMA. I can play something. My worry stone is the O-ring on my day collar. Oh, that's lovely. It's so worn down, it's not even shiny anymore. I like, but you have something that you can, you know, you can do that with. I'll sometimes do it, like with my Pitrosite necklace. I will sometimes do that. Or like we talked about my rings, I'll do the same thing, which I have a fuck ton, but, you know. But it's good that you have something to do that. Who needs indie horror when you have shitty books? That's the true horror. It may get to a point where, unless something is releasing or, like, I'm on a roll, I may make Sundays the AMA streams, and then we'll play, you know, we'll do indie horror, we'll do, like, gaming streams on Thursdays, and then the off day, sometimes Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays, whenever it is. We could do that. I mean, it seems to me that sometimes the chat streams on Sundays do better in terms of, like, just general vibe. Unless there's something I absolutely wanna play, but, like, maybe we'll pick a topic and we can do that. I love AMA ones. Did I miss you being asked to fuck a bird? Yes, but chatting ones are so fun. Okay, the bird fucking thing was weird, alright? I'm not sure. I don't even understand. That was so strange that it just came up in the conversation, and, like, what was it? The great tit immediately was like, what some fuck? This is from Birds Watching. I'm not just talking about fucking birds. I want to be very clear. It's from a game. Steamiest Potato, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. Sometimes you just gotta fuck a bird, you know? No! You don't! Shout out to you, Steamiest Potato. I really appreciate it. Welcome in, guys. I'm Autumn Ivy. I do a little bit of everything. Today we're just kind of hanging out and chatting, so feel free to stick around. Or don't. I'm not your boss, but, you know, I could be. Who knows? Giving a shout out to Steamiest Potato as well. You can find all my stuff, videos, photo sets, audios, and more at autumnivyofficial.com, and merch at autumnivy.com. So, yeah, talking about fucking birds is when a raid comes in, because of course it is. You want some fuck? Yes. Yes. My friend DM'd me asking right now if I wanted to meet Sir Reginald, and they have a baby pigeon on their shoulder. I'm sobbing. Sir Reginald is fucking lit. That's great. We love Sir Reginald. I don't even know what they look like. That's fantastic. I love that. Yeah, the pussy bird, so that was the great tit. The pussy bird was weird. But the cloaca bird was weirder, because she was coming on strong. Cloaca bird was like, yeah, so are we in this? And I'm like, no, we're not. We're not. Nobody is my boss unless I see a paycheck. Fair. Inconsequential fun. No, but but she was cool with it, and she was still down bad. Those birds were down bad, dude. And the problem is there's a moral issue there, too, where it's like, now wait a minute, because these birds are like sentient, right? Like, these are birds with thoughts and feelings, and like they can speak to you. So like, where's the line drawn, dude? I don't know about that, because that line's a little dusty. I'm not sure where the line is. I'm just saying, that one's strange, okay? It was a little weird. Look up the Harkness test for whether or not you cross the line. What? Wait, the what? Harkness test. A set of 3 guidelines used in science fiction fandom to determine if romantic or sexual relationships with a non-human character is ethically permissible based on the consent. Named after Captain Jack Harkness from Doctor Who's fan lore, the alien non-human character must have human level or higher intelligence, communicate with language, and be sexually mature. Okay, hold on. Here's the criteria. Intelligence. Does the character have human level intelligence or higher? I mean, yeah, they did. They, like, clearly knew what was going on. Communication. Can the character communicate using language? I mean, yeah, you were speaking to them the whole game. Is the character of sexual maturity for its species? I would assume so? I don't know. I wasn't vetting the bird's age, but one could assume that I don't know how because isn't this the same test that technically would say that it's ethically, like, morally or ethically okay if somebody wanted to fuck Scooby-Doo based upon that same system? This is that same test? No. Birds watching. No, stop. No, we're not IDing the birds. Yo, let's go! Shmanyu winning knockout super soft tea. Also, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Omadon, for giving away a knockout tea. That's awesome. No! I'm not gonna go back and fuck the bird. It does not matter, okay? For clarity, because some of you are here, I want to point out, we're talking about the game Birds Watching. If you haven't seen the episode or if you haven't played the game, that's okay. I played it for you. It's on my YouTube. You can watch the VOD. Politely ask the bird for their driver's license. Does carrier pigeon mean they're a bottom? Guys, please. No. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't even ask questions. We're in an ad break. I'm confused. I'm lonely. What the fuck? Who's fucking Scooby-Doo? Step away for a minute for the water. You miss a lot. Oh, yeah. No, we were talking about the Harkness test. Because somebody brought it up. Because we were talking about Birds Watching, the game. And about how 2 of the birds wanted to fuck you in the game. And, like, you have the moral option to fuck the bird. And I'm like, where is the line for this? It's a very dusty line. And somebody was like, oh, you got to do the Harkness test. And I was like, what? So I had to Google it. But then I was like, oh, shit, this is the same test that, like, I don't know. Could be worse. It could be goofy erotica. Stop! A cassowary would have just gutted people and moved on. There wouldn't even be a game. Have you not seen How to F a Boyfriend? Yes, I have, actually. That's the bird dating sim. Yes. Left turn. Yes, because we took a left turn at Albuquerque. We know a Vulture would straight be willing to eat ass. God, why? Why is that a sentence I just had to read? I'm so over. Yeah, it was wild. It was a good game. It was interesting. It's the same person that made Lone Shark. So if you guys know the game Lone Shark, it's that same company. But I did. I saw it and I had to read it. Thanks, I hate it. Me too. Yeah, he was the unapologetically. Monroe's right. That was a down bad bird. Like that was Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Like, that bird was down bad. There was no coming back from that for that bird, I feel like. Which was simultaneously the worst and also fine, but the worst. Down devastating? Only if you said yes. Did somebody go back? I'm not gonna go. No, we're not going back and we're not agreeing to fuck the bird. It's not happening. It's not happening. I wonder how they are if you aren't that much of a bird yet. I feel like they would be, well, the one said that they liked humans. So I feel like that would be different. I feel like they'd be in. I feel like the cloaca bird would not, though. Boundary crossingly down bad. They did. They were, listen, I have never felt more like harassed by another thing than I did in that moment of this bird hitting on me. Like, that was not the shit. Go wherever the fuck you want to go, unicorn. Nobody's stopping you. We're just fucking around. Future historians writing their notes. So the human race were so bored they started having debates about fucking the bird. No, actually fucking the birds. Okay, but again, I feel like if that's the case and they just find some old computer somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, deep down, they're gonna find a computer that is, like, embedded with a bunch of old fucking material and shit, and they're gonna be like, oh, so, how's that going? I can only fucking imagine. You know how it's going. Worst date behavior. I got something wild for this topic. I went on a date with a girl. You said my ass looks slappable. My ass looks slappable. She aggressively scratched her hoo-ha in a restaurant, and I have not spoken to her since. What? Yeah, I mean, I could see that being a pretty weird date, my guy. I could see that being a very... Yes. A bird shot requires a barrel choke. Please! Chloe Gussie, stop giving the pussy birds names. Enough. This is the first time I've heard of this bird game. My two inner demons are now fighting between avoiding it and needing to find it. Okay, hold on. Stop. So, it's called Birds Watching. It was an interesting game. It was very fascinating. And it was fun, in terms of, like, you know, finding out, like, the navigation. And there's a couple of... I think there's more than one ending. I think there's 2 or 3. But... there's some weird shit that goes down a couple of times. So, there's 2 birds as you're having conversations where one of them is super into you. And then the other one starts coming onto you like a drunk guy at a bar who has not yet realized that he is, like, foul alcohol smelling. But, like, won't stop doing that thing where they waver in your face from this far away and, like, lightly touching you. Like, no. Mm-mm. Another streamer I follow is gifted the game. Oh, good. She's gonna have a great time. Have you ever been with a bird? She squawked breathily. I'm out. I'm done. I quit. I am no longer employed. I'm barely breathing. Yeah, the screaming... Do you mean the fish that sounded like it was screaming, but it sounded like a borderline orgasm? That was one of Chilla's art games. Would you consider the start of that book a bad date? Untied shoes, dropping the mask, getting his peanuts caught in his pants? Yes. Yes, I would. I would consider that a bad date. Yes. No, that was... Absolutely. If you have a 3-way with owls, is that a night with... Please, why? You fucking... We do like weird games. Oh, hi, Loyal. Good news. Welcome in. You came into us talking about the game Birds Watching and how 2 of the birds are the meme of want some fuck. Please stop making lists of fuckable birds in relation to Birds Watching. Like, not to mention, half of them tell you to fuck off throughout the game. It's a weird game. It's a good game, but out of context, it's a very weird game. Please, why? Can I scramble your eggs? I forgot about the meme. Yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure that the intention was for the meme. I don't know. I don't have proof, but one could assume. Hot to full boyfriend. But they're like, technically they're like shapeshifters though. Right? Because it's like the horse game too. Isn't it? Like the one where it's the horse boyfriend?
Hey everyone,
But like, okay, hold on. So let me show you. Because some of you I don't think understand when we say hot to full boyfriend, what it is. This is hot to full boyfriend. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But it's literally about you going to a school for talented birds as a human. These are the birds. Like, so no. Are we going to discuss the logistics of centaur pregnancy? So, I saw somebody draw an anatomy thing for centaurs. You made a sandwich! Oh, I can come eat in a minute. I figured I would get off. It's almost 6:30. I love you. You don't want to talk about birds fucking? He's gonna leave me someday. I just know it.
I know when I'm married. No, I am not.
He was there for everything. He was.
Will you look at how upset this thing is?
Why are you upset? Come here. You can't be upset if I'm dead. Where are you at? Are you coming or not? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, God.
It has been so mad for the last hour.
Why are you mad? Hi, Duck Boy. Thank you for the follow. Everybody say hi to Mr. Holmes. He is pissed. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, my God. Do you want that? Oh, so you came to say hi, got mad the door was shut, and now you want to leave? Is that how we're about to do this? This is Sherlock Holmes, for those of you that aren't usually on stream. Sherlock Holmes is Roxy's Padawan after Roxy passed away. This is what she left me. Tell him. What is that? Are you watching yourself? Is that you? It's that. Yeah, that's him. But he's over there. Good talk, buddy. A wild Ellis has appeared. Someone to write spicy cassowary love scenes. No. Please. On God, dude. He's a young old man. He is. If you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at want some fuck. Who was it that did the pterodactyl screech thing? Was that James?
No.
What was we had a conversation about that, didn't we?
Just that it's a thing.
James did something fucking irritating to you one time, didn't he?
Breathe.
Fair. That's fair. That's entirely fair.
But in that context, no.
That's entirely fair. They cosplayed as one of the Hatsuful boyfriends. I love that for them, to be honest. A young old man, so Leon. Can we talk for a second? Because I want to go eat. But I want to talk for a second about the Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy discourse. Because apparently some people were under an implication that, like, girls didn't want, like, to get down bad with fucking Chris Redfield because they were too into Leon. And I'm like, you guys are like cutting off an entire bloodline of Johnny, thank you for the follow. You're cutting off an entire bloodline of women that are like both? Sure. I said this when I streamed Resident Evil 9. I wasn't always like super into Leon Kennedy. 9 got me there, but that's because he's finally in the age range I like. That's fine. I'm here for that. But like, Chris needs Leon to be with Claire and continue the Redfield bloodline. But then to divorce him and promptly marry Chris. I believe that he's just married to Chris. What other kind of person, like, keeps tabs on their wife like that? Fucking Chris came in, and they had that discussion at the end of the game, and they're like, oh, he's got a message, da-da-da-da-da. Get the fuck out of here. He knew exactly where the fuck Leon was, and he was like, damn, I gotta pick up my wife at 9. Like, shut the fuck up. I have. Leon went from twink to twunk. Yes.
He's been watching through the security cameras as Leon struggles for his life the whole time. He was about to help, but he was removed from the situation when he saw Zeno on the cabs and crashed the fuck out.
Probably, yeah. Meanwhile, there's like, it's just him having fucking like post-traumatic episode of like punching the fucking boulder, just imagining fucking Wesker!
He's losing it. Leon's having a near-death experience and Ada's filing her nails like, it'll be fine.
It's fine. It's always fine.
And it was.
Meanwhile, Claire somewhere in the background is just like, I don't know where I've been the last 7 games. It's fine. Jill, too. I say this with respect. I always assumed Chris never understood what sex was and just assumed the stork or the government brought him kids.
Oh, so Dante.
Fuck you, bro! Ellis and I have had the continued argument that Virgil... Right? Fine. You've got the woman in red. That's the big mystery. It's very clear. Like, obviously,
Virgil
Nero...
has a son. He fucks.
Clearly.
Dante takes good naps.
No! No! Yes! But no! That's fucking rude. Dante also fucks. I'm telling you. I have a bet going with Ellis. We'll never see Devil May Cry 6. We're gonna be dead by the time they release it, so it's never gonna matter. But I'm fucking telling you that there's gonna be some shit with that. I'm fucking telling you. Chris, Leon, and Ada are a throuple. Chris and Ada both take Leon. Probably.
Yeah, but Chris doesn't know he's in a throuple.
The boulder did owe him money. Slade's right. Claire, the fuck did you want me to do? I've been on vacation. But is there proof that he fucks? I mean, it doesn't need to walk and talk. No, are you one of the Dante and Lady people? That's fine. I'm not gonna shit on your ship. Dude, I wanted them to bring Beryl into the games so fucking bad, and they're never going to. Beryl is never gonna be, like, see the light of day. The closest we've gotten to Beryl in-game was the fucking magazine that they put in as, like, a, if you know, you know, and most people did not know. Which is unfortunate. But... I wish. Random question. Do you still want the items in your throne wish list? I asked because I edited my Amazon, got rid of some things I no longer wanted. I mean, I don't even remember what's in my wish list. I think so.
Dante thinks the store delivers babies in pizza boxes. Probably.
That might track, actually. Yeah. Dante needs a secret baby mama to just show up out of nowhere. That's what I keep saying. I want it to be Beryl so bad, dude. I've got... Hold on, actually... I will show you Beryl. Hold on. Because some of you already know. Hold on.
Do you even know where it is?
Yes.
I'm not going to sit in her seat because she'll be right back. You hit her autism topic. Good.
Never mind. No, I don't. That's the manga. Just kidding.
Oh, you need the novel.
Yeah, those are the mangas. I don't know where the novel is right now. So we're gonna. But I have a thing. I have a thing called the internet. And wildly enough, it's at my disposal right now. Right in this very moment. This is Beryl. And I love Beryl. I love Beryl so much. We're not talking about DMC2 either, by the way. Specifically, DMC2 as in the game, which would have made sense for that whole thing, but everybody wants to not remember that DMC2 happened unless it has a complete overwrite.
I'll take it over the most recent.
I will absolutely take it over the recent, though. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, Beryl. We love Beryl in this house. I will take no Beryl slander.
Beryl looks vaguely familiar.
Beryl also is one of the only ones that ever got this! That is a real fucking panel. That's canon. Well, it's not canon. Technically, the novel's not canon. Technically. But it's canon in my brain! I also want to point out that there's an entire conversation in some of the other novelizations where him and Lucia have a conversation, and Lucia's like, hey, so, maybe? And he's like,
my people need me.
Anyway, bye! And just leaves. It's pretty bad. I love Lucia, and he did her dirty. A little bit, yeah. DMC2 game does not exist. No, technically. I've seen people ship Trish with Dante, and that's a bag of worms I don't want to touch. Listen, whatever you're fucking into, dog. She's not his mom. She's not his mom. As far as I'm concerned, Trish and Lady are banging. And then eventually when Nico's revealed, Lady's like, meh? And Nico's like,
fuck yeah.
Meh? And they're like, meh. And I'm good with that ship. The Dante Lady thing is not my bag. Lady Virgil has a different thing, but only because there's a conversation that we've had about a couple of specific scenes. And that's a whole mess also. You have cooties, gross, where's my pizza? Kind of, yeah. It's canon in my heart. Mine too. And no, you're not being ignored. Sonic has the same personality as Dante, and Shadow has the same personality as Virgil. Sonic doesn't have the big depresso espresso, though. But then again, I'm not, like, nuts deep in the Sonic lore, so maybe I'm missing some rows. Dante Lady after a drunk night, nothing further. Okay, that's...
Nothing further for them either. They both pretend it didn't happen.
Oh, absolutely. Like, on paper. So are we gonna talk about... No. No. We're talking about the nothing. And then she leaves and never talks to him again. Mm-hmm. I just want one day you get super into lore for shit. It doesn't stop. It does. There's a lot of shit. I don't talk about things. I don't talk about shit I'm into in fandoms because, like, the second that I fucking breathe in any general direction, everybody, like, jumps my ass. I brought up Silent Hill on fucking Twitter X, Elon's jerk-off website, whatever. And the second that I did, I had a fucking bunch of naysayers jumping my ass because I said something that was legitimate and relevant. So at this point, I've just simply learned that, like, I'm gonna keep my peace. And if I want to say something and don't want the input, I'll just fucking mute that shit. Or I'll leave it so that only people I'm mutuals with can respond.
Yeah, Jigsaw, that's Nico.
The girl that drives the van in the last game can get it. Yeah, that's Nico.
Nico is the daughter of that...
Agnes.
Of Agnes, the bug villain in 4, and the granddaughter of Nell Goldstein.
Suddenly Autumn talks about their hyperfixation like the guy with the corkboard from Always Sunny.
Oh, Charlie Day.
Yes, I live my life in Charlie Day mode. I love that basically DMC5 establishes the difference between poetry goths and weeaboos, whether or not they like swords.
Yeah, pretty much.
What was DMC5 really for? That. I did get somebody to delete a tweet. That was not on purpose, though. I just was being a dick. Did you get the well actually treatment? I
want you guys to know that there is only 2 fandoms in which Autumn anamorphs into that Ron Swanson gif where he says, I know more than you to the person in, like, Home Depot. And it's Devil May Cry and Silent Hill. Those are the only 2 fandoms where if you see something, say something, and she cannot stop herself.
I can't.
Any other time, she keeps it to herself, but I have watched her implode for 20 minutes before suddenly falling apart and saying something. Because some fuck-ass person says something off-kilter or just blatantly wrong about one of those 2 things.
I spun out like a week ago.
Yeah.
Because some fucking dipshit, fucking bottom-feeding, cut, fucking... Anyway, this person put up a tweet talking about, like, DMC and the iteration where Resident Evil had crossover with Devil May Cry. And they basically were saying that that didn't happen, right? Where DMC was initially spun out, part of the story base was spun out to be Resident Evil, and then there was a whole clusterfuck that happened, right? Then DMC became its own entity, therefore Devil May Cry was separated, whatever. This person was fucking arguing that that never happened. And they're like, all of these people who are super into Resident Evil, and like all of these fucking people that don't know what the fuck they're talking, and like they were on a tirade about it, and I was like, but you're wrong. You're so proud, but you're so wrong. Your chest is fucking boisterous, and your voice is loud, and you're yelling to the crowd, and you are so confident and so fucking wrong. But instead of getting in a fight, I closed it, I looked at Ellis, I screamed, and I put my phone down.
Drop my jaw and scream.
And I was fine. Monty, Hot Wheels, thank you for the follow. Oh good, so loudly wrong, trying to gaslight me.
Yeah, pretty much.
No. No, it's not a crossover.
Dante was essentially going to be a Resident Evil character, and the very short explanation is he got so wild they had to create his own.
Among other storytelling elements.
Yeah.
So there's a deep lore thing where aspects of Devil May Cry were integrated initially to be part of Resident Evil, because that was supposed to be like Resident Evil 4, like the subplot between 3 and 4 type shit, right? So like that was the whole thing. Eventually, they started to realize that it was its own form, its own story.
Easy, breezy, beautiful, incorrect.
It was its own form of story. And so, like, it wound up being separated. And that's how it went down, right? So then Devil May Cry was its own thing. Yeah, I mean, kind of, a little bit, yeah. So, like, there's a whole breeze to it. But this dude was so fucking, like... Because, do you know what started it? Do you want to know what fucking started it? Because there's been art of Dante and Leon together, both together, and also together. And somebody had, like, they retweeted a fan art piece and flipped their fucking shit over this fan art piece. Because they're like, that's never going to happen, and that's this, and that's that. And I'm like, first of all, Leon Dad Joke Kennedy would not get along with Wacky Wahoo Pizza Man. Both clinically depressed, canon on paper, like schmooicidal, but they'd never get along? What? They're also like one bar to the left of being in the same fucking universe, dude. Let's not. How did two bottoms figure it out? That's the joke.
Yeah, Dante and Leon would bicker here and there, but ultimately get together. I would like to flip around the narrative and tell you that Virgil and Wesker would destroy each other.
Oh my god, I'd love to see it.
Virgil would stop giving a fuck about his brother entirely, solely because he would hate the ego on Wesker so much. And Wesker would be so butthurt that there was something equal to or better than him that they would hyper-focus on trying to kill each other, and there would be no more Resident Evil stories.
No.
That's it. That's where it would stop.
It would begin and end there. Oh, you know what, actually? Dante and Leon would never stop making quips mid-fight.
Kill myself. Oh my
They're just gonna be mid-conversation bouncing. They would feed off of each other. It would be so fucking irritating.
Ugh.
They'd never get anything done. But they'd get everything done, and that's worse. There's something worse about a man with a one-liner who still manages to get things done. I don't know how, but they would do it. Every time. Probably not stop talking. And by that I mean mostly Dante. I feel like Leon eventually would be like, and just land it. The clips would add to the score multiplier. Two bratty bottoms indeed can be difficult in figuring it out. So Deadpool. So Capcom... Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had Dante and Deadpool in the same game.
Was there a cinematic for that?
Oh my god, yeah. It's wild. Have you seen the cinema? I don't know if I want to go deep down the rabbit hole. Anyway, it's fucking insane. If Virgil versus Wesker in a Marvel vs. Capcom was canon, it would solve the problem of at least one universe.
Yeah.
That's fair. But no, Dante and Deadpool had a whole thing. And there was also jokes made about hooking up with Morrigan that was pretty wild. Yeah, the Marvel vs. Capcom was nuts. It was pretty wild. I'm actually kind of surprised that we haven't seen that brought up again. But I don't know. The IPs for that are so wild right now. And now that, like, Disney owns Marvel and... I don't know, dog. I don't know how that's gonna go. Also, fuck them! Fuck you, Hulu! Fuck you, Hulu! Fucking pulling the Buffy redo. Are you... Really? They stepped up to the plate and they're like, we're bringing Buffy back. And you motherfuckers, you mouse fucking Disney humping bitches were like, nah, not today, and canceled it. Be fucking for real. Nah. You soiled it! You took a fandom of people who were loyal to the day, to the death, and you guys fucked with that entire fandom. Okay, Firefly, sure, yeah, as an animation, great, good for them, they're keeping the cast as an animation. Fuck you! They fucked us on Buffy. Firefly, I mean, I'm happy for you, good for you guys. Hope they don't cancel it. Because Buffy had shit filmed already. No, it's not even just that. Why is it that you can give the Duster fuckers another fucking season of Stranger Fuck Yourself after the last one fucking bombed, but you guys are cool with that because Netflix, right? So, like, they can get away with that shit, but you guys won't hand an entire, like, loyal fandom off on the bit. No. Nope. Anyway, I was mad. I'm good. It's fine. I was also looking forward to it. Duster fuckers is a bit much. It's not! I was just really angry. I was grumpy. Please don't speak Latin in front of the books. I wear the cheese. It does not wear me. I did, damn it. Anyway. I don't know. That's what I've got. Dante and Leon are valid. Beryl should have been in the games. We're never going to see Devil May Cry 6 until we're dead in the ground. The next Resident Evil DLC, I'm fingers praying, is going to be Chris Redfield because it ties into Resident Evil Village. And if it's not, that's okay too. Just at least give me Jill or Sheva. God, give me Sheva. I don't know where she went. I don't know where she is. I don't know what company she's with. I just want Sheva back. Buffy fans are some of the most loyal people on the planet. True facts. Yeah, man, Jill just kind of, like, after the Wesker situation, Jill was like, I'm out, and has not come back. I know I gotta go eat, okay. I mean, I'm excited. I told Ellis I want him to play it with me. Yeah. I told him that I wanted to play assuming that is what rolls out. I told him I wanted to play. Again, I'm glad that Firefly's being rebooted. Great. It's not even really a reboot. It's an animation. It was already revealed. They've already been talking about it. I think that's fantastic. I'm happy for them. But no. I'm grumpy. I'm grumpy. I have the grump. I have big grump. I'm gonna go eat dinner because Ellis also needs to eat. Yeah, maybe we'll keep Sundays to chatting. We'll pick a topic and we'll find something. But I do want to stream. I have a couple of things. I'm also going to figure out Pacopia at some point. I just don't know why the fuck, even when it's connected, it's not working. But that's fine. I think I'm going to die in this house. We also have Only Faces Remain. We still also have Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. And a couple of other things. I think Reanimal also is still listed, so I'm going to do that. If you guys have recommendations or things you'd like to see, please don't forget to let me know what they are. Send them. The Discord also is a good place to do that, because I can keep track of shit. Otherwise, again, Malevola is being released. So Malevola still has 2 videos and an audio. So that will be releasing this week, and then we move on to a regular thing, and then Rogue is next month. So expect that, both Savage Lands Rogue and also regular. I have not played Chronos the New Dawn yet, but I do have it. It's on my list. But yes, you guys are great. You can find all of my stuff at Autumn Ivy, autumnivy.com, and merch at autumnivy.com. and all of this stuff for photosets, videos, audios, and more at automivofficial.com. I also have new audiobooks that have been released, so if you guys would like to check those out, you can check them out on Audible. One of them I think is on Spotify. My Masked Stalker, I think, got released on Spotify. I don't know if you can find it if you just search my name. I didn't actually try doing that, but apparently, I guess they're putting fucking audiobooks on Audible now. I was not aware of, or on Spotify, which it makes me nervous because I don't know about that. Anyway, you guys are great. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I will be back again Thursday. Keep an eye out, though, for other stuff, I think. Maybe. I don't know what other stuff is yet. Anyway, go take your grandma for a walk.